Good evening, afternoon, morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Mohawk stream. Fluffy Bunny here with a part 2 of another community tournament game, Siontific versus Aran. I'm also joined today by co-caster FilthyRobot. Welcome to the stream, Filthy.
Thanks, Fluffy.
How are you doing today?
Not too bad. Looking forward to part 2 of this match. I watched the first one, although didn't cast it, and it's been a pretty exciting match, I think, so far.
Yeah, so we should do a quick recap over what's happened. So we've got Siontific playing Carthage versus Aran playing Assyria. We've seen some quite early aggression from Siontific that didn't really go anywhere. We saw a Marauder diving onto the other side of the map that was swiftly repelled. Then quite a lot of harass from Aran. A couple of workers getting killed, people getting stunned with a tactician. Feel like Aran's dominated that south side of the map, certainly. And then, late last stream, a huge offensive from Sion, streaming across the map with forts, which got quite nicely pushed back by Aran. And, both sides are back to being a little bit defensive now.
Yeah, I think that was actually, from my perspective, one of the most unexpected events was Siontific attacking into that position. It felt like he had a pretty decent hold on the game and a pretty decent unit advantage, and I liked his fort creep. He just needed to not push. And his attack there, I felt like, cost him so much.
Oh, wild. He is... What on earth just happened? He just pushed out a warlord and... He must be burning there, so he's not getting any resources from that, so he's just denying those forts to Assyria. I was quite surprised to see Assyria not claiming those forts for themselves. They've pillaged a few of them. You can see. Well,
Assyria probably doesn't want to make the exact mistake that Siontific just made, right? He doesn't want to overcommit here. Like, he has a nice defensive position. He just repelled the advance. It'd be nice to take care of those forts, but he's probably not in a super big rush to throw all of his units out into the center.
Yeah, well, that's certainly valid. I think Aran is generally quite a cautious player, certainly a very good player, knows what he's doing, so yeah, fair enough. Let's
see the boat up top.
Yes.
Almost dead up there.
The immobilized Carthage ship went in. I think, he did try and anchor up there earlier and had to run away when he got attacked by the marksman slinger. He's tried for a second time and is now getting killed. And despite the fact Assyria only has one ship to Carthage's 4, he's just getting pushed back, which is a little bit unfortunate for Sion.
Military units killed. Does that include the barbarians? Or
yes, military units. Let's see, military units killed include everyone they kill, including driving the barbarians. Yeah. Units lost.
I need to post that as a recommendation. We need that. We need a player stats one, because that would be very interesting to know here. Almost, we'd like to see it in like one of the costs too, because one of the things I'm thinking of, like when I watch other casted games, StarCraft 2 has a really good replay system for this, a really good viewer system. It'd be really nice to know the cost that Siontific paid for that messed up advance. You know what I mean? Like, he lost a fair number of units. How many, I wonder? What's the disparate count of kills on either side? And I wonder what the resource equivalent of that is. I'll have to figure out how to post that as a suggestion.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see those stats. I'm not quite sure how that would work exactly, but
possibly in training rate or something like that, some version of that. But either way, separating it from the tribal stuff, because we don't really care about the tribal kills. It doesn't really matter very much. But seeing that other players' units lost is kind of important. So I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a similar kind of issue with units lost, in that obviously it is all the units the players lost, but that's every unit. That includes civilians as well, not just military units. Whereas the units
and losing like a couple
units.
Like Carthage tribe units early isn't really that big a deal. You lose a couple of those like tier 1 barbs or something, but losing like, I don't know, cataphracts or something, you know what I mean? There's going to be a rate by which, a metric by which you can see some of the impact of that. By the way, we have a new patch since the last session of this, right?
Yes, indeed, just released yesterday. So yes, the old version was played on the old patch, and this one will be on the new one. So I'm trying to cast my mind back. I should know really exactly what all the impacts are.
I think some of the big ones were the hero change. The hero change was a big one, right? So the launch offensive got a big buff. Whether the scout changes made it to this patch, like the getting kicked out of cities by border expansion?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Scouts will no longer get revealed when territory expands over the top of them if they were previously hidden. Let me just pull up the patch
I
notes
was
so
going
I
to do the
can
exact same thing.
actually remember what's going on. So yeah, add urban build leader cost got doubled. There's a slight change to the way civics enlisting works, but that's more just to prevent people getting it wrong rather than any dramatic ability.
I like the observer mode changes. There's some good ones. I just can't remember what they were.
Yeah. Right. So observer mode, we should actually be seeing them, and in fact, I believe we have would already have been seeing them if I was paying attention. So basically, if you're observing a player in a turn-based MP match and the turn switches to the other player, then the camera
Bounces you over.
focus will automatically switch over. So yeah, we've automatically switched over to Assyria now.
Very nice, actually.
So
Helps
yeah,
you keep track of whose turn it is too, which is sometimes oddly hard.
yeah, definitely, especially if you're trying to look at several different things at once and keep track of all the stats. Right, what is happening? So it's a serious turn. We're still paused. I think they're playing the first turn pause. So Assyria's working on their economy. They're getting a farm up here. Lots of lumber mills going. Pinged enormous amount of farms by the look of it. Yeah, Assyria's economy is starting to get better. They spent most of the first half of their game, or the first part of the game, with a very bad economy. It's starting to look a lot better now, whereas Carthage's they haven't had so much focus on that, and it's kind of plunged into the dirt.
Yeah, I just pinged between the two of them. Looking at this, Assyria's got really nice family standing going on over here and good control over that, which is going to matter for all their combat stuff as well as just problematic empire stuff, as well as a better actual resource economy going on right now. Carthage is actually behind in both of those, struggling with one of their families straight up, and then their resource economy is worse. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe
let's
that timing push or the push we saw at the end of last stream was in part because they didn't like the state of their economy.
possibly they've just spent so many orders focusing on that they haven't been working on the economy. Let's just have a quick look at the stats before we get into the game proper. So yeah, you can see Carthage is broke compared to
Yeah,
Assyria,
totally
way
broke on
richer.
every resource basically at zero right now.
Yep. Uh, Aran's a little bit up on population. Sion's a little bit ahead on specialists and has produced more workers. Few more military units produced, and of course 9 mercenary units. So Sion has had way more military units, and I believe still does have more military units. We'll check the military power graph in a minute. Sion has lost 22 units though to Aran's 5, which is painful. 27
Yeah, I really
killed for
liked how
Aran.
Aaron has defended this game. Like the Carthage aggression is really scary. It's so powerful that early free unit, basically equating gold to units in a way that no other civ can do. But I thought Aaron's like harassing with the tactician, like keeping his units around there, forcing Sion to respond again and again, has kind of bled that aggression off a little bit and given him time to kind of get his cities going. I think he's done an excellent job right now. He's
Oh
ahead
yeah,
in pretty much all the demographics as I see it right now.
yeah, absolutely. A masterful bit of harassment from Aran. Yeah, very painful to deal with. So, yeah, Sion is still ahead in tech, 16 techs to 11. That's quite a big difference.
It's true.
I don't think any of these stats are too important. Resource production, important ones really here, I think, are science. So, Sion 2,200 to Syria's 1,800. It's not actually that big a gap. Must have got some cheaper techs. Carthage has just lost a huge amount of orders. They were sitting at 31 orders a turn. They're now down to 19. That might be due to worker actions. To be fair, they're refocusing on their economy because they definitely need to be. Yeah, huge iron income. Well, actually, it's not even that huge. It's just comparative to Carthage, the iron production, because Carthage is sitting at -1 iron production, which is not where you want to be on turn 69. And yeah,
No,
no lumber mills. Carthage sitting at -34 wood a turn. Yikes. But they do
they really
still
have to.
have an advantage on mill cost. Sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
They really need to fix that almost immediately too, because they can death spiral out of this, right? Where they can't get any resource every turn because it's sold off, and they have to basically harvest to get out of that.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, they can cut. You can always cut wood, of course, so you can build more mines. And he has at least got a reasonable amount of stone income, so he's not completely broke. He is making more than he's selling, I think. Let's just check that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
is at the moment.
selling. He's only selling 6 stone to cover debts, so he's not quite at that point. But yes, he does absolutely need to fix that. He's got a lovely volcano event here, which is just pillaged loads of his farms and killed his farm income in that city, so he's now down to minus 29 food a turn, which is horrible.
Yeah, the interesting question is, where does he go from here? So he's tried that advance. What is the city count right now? I guess, is this a change from the patch? Are you noticing this too? Whenever they select units, it drags it gives you that same unit as a cursor.
I believe it's when you move a unit, you attempt to move a unit farther than it can do. There was a change to automatically drag the camera back.
As the observer, I'm getting that unit selected. Are you getting that same thing?
I haven't noticed that, no.
Okay. Well, be interested to see that in a minute. Maybe that's me.
It's possible I just haven't been paying enough attention to the game, though.
Okay.
Let's see, what have we got? We've got an event. I'm not sure what that. Oh, a free chariot in Cavarjo. Not amazing, but not terrible. Yeah, I'm not sure what. What is Carthage going to do? Well, there's a question. We've got a tech choice at the moment, so that might give us a clue. Machinery might be quite nice to get some. I just always like onagers. Onagers are always a good defensive and harassment creep potential of them. Let's see what else you could get. Land consolidation. We can see there are quite a few grove resources on the map, which Aran has pinged all of his. He's going for machinery by the looks of it. So yeah, he wants some onagers.
Yeah, I don't mind that. It's a full infantry army out of Aran thus far. It's slingers and spears. Like getting the option to get ballista after onagers is really nice versus the full infantry stuff. Axes too, right? All three infantry types over there.
Yeah, so we're not seeing, as you say, any cavalry at all on Assyria's side, whereas Carthage has got, of course, their African elephants and their tribal units. And
the other nice thing Carthage
well.
has going for it, besides science, is it has culture. It has 2 cities strong, where Aran has 0 and strong right now. Are there any wonders that would be majorly impactful here that they might consider grabbing?
Yeah, so we still haven't seen any wonders built so far. We've got quite a few. The Colossus might be quite nice.
Mausoleum, yeah, and
museum. All of the strong wonders look pretty good here, I'd say. Siontific always loves the Colosseum, so I would be very surprised not to see that if he does make it to Legendary.
He's got quite a bit of time for Legendary, sadly, but yes, he might be able to hit one of those strong wonders if he can get his economy under control. Is he in any danger of being pushed right now? If I look at this army from Aran, it doesn't look very aggressive.
No, I don't think Assyria is planning on pushing, just from the fact that they're not really focusing on building units at the moment. I think, do they have the ability to build rams? Yeah, they could be building battering rams, at least in their capital, and they haven't so far. It'll be interesting to see if they queue one up.
The battering ram ability doesn't help versus forts alone, right?
Battering rams
it's urban, right?
Battering rams do have an attack advantage into forts, and in fact, that's another reason why these forts in neutral territory were just not a great idea, because they'll just do nothing at all against the rams.
Forts. Yeah, that's really nice here, isn't it? Now, I suppose Carthage is rocking a fair number of cav units, as you pointed out, including those elephants. So it may be a little bit sketchy rolling out siege engines or siege units into that, but still, that's a nice option they have available.
Yeah, and I suppose that's another reason why Assyria might wanted to have pillaged the forts rather than try and fortify in them, because of course the elephants can just push them out of the forts, so it's much harder to make good use of that.
Wait, wasn't it Carthage doing the fort pillaging?
So Carthage did some fort pillaging at the beginning of this session. Assyria did some at the end of last session. So they've both pillaged some forts now. Yeah. So we've just seen the camera ping there where a unit tried to move past its fatigue limit, and the camera zoomed back to it. So that was a change that was made to try and help people see what's going on if you try and move a unit and you can't. But possibly we haven't considered the effect of that on observer mode.
Yeah.
So we are seeing some military movements. There's units moving south. I wonder why. Not quite seeing a reason for that.
From where?
Oh, so there's spear moving down towards Erbil, plus another one further up at Jerwin. Couple of spears. 3 spurs move down, in fact. So maybe he's going to try for a southern push, but I mean, it doesn't look immediately likely.
There's a buy room coming out of Arpid, right, though? So maybe it's less of a push and more of a harass, possibly?
Oh, yes, I see. Yes, no, that does very much imply that he is at least going to try and do something in the south then.
Or it
Interesting.
might be a bit like there's a thing called cheater's distrust, where people who've cheated in relationships are more likely to suspect others of cheating. Maybe there's a bit of that going on here with Aran, and the fact that he's building a buy room down there, moving some spears, maybe thinking about harassing and being worried that he might be getting harassed in that same way. So it might be defensive.
Yes, true. I guess it's something you have to watch out for. Yeah, it can of course go both ways. Although I would have thought at this point Aaron's fairly confident that Sion isn't going to try any more immediate attacks, given how badly his last attack just failed. But definitely something you need to stay on top of.
And boats are one of those things that are very swingy. If you don't commit to some boat production, it's very easy to get locked out entirely. Boats have a lot of abilities to snowball, right? With the immobilize, the pushing, so you can't really get defensive lines set up for any length of time, that kind of stuff, right? So you have
Right.
to devote some resources if you ever want to be on the sea.
Yes. If you want to try and contest it, then yeah, you do need to try and keep parity. Certainly, I think the one of the more recent changes is that boats can use circle formation now, which we see
Yep.
Siontific ships have, which give them extra defensive ability against ships and a counter attack at full effect. So that makes defensive ships much more viable now than they used to be. Um,
Although presumably fire ship knocks you out of the stance after one hit, though, right?
Yes, so fire ship would panic the ship and cause it to flee. You would still take the counter attack damage.
I really like Aaron's use of the planning tool as well. I think in a game that's going to get complicated in real time with a lot of military units out there in a tournament match with a bunch of pressure, I like that he's giving himself the kind of mental space of when he has time throwing down some planning icons, and then he can just autopilot through them when he's actually doing complicated things.
Yeah, makes sense, especially for a game that goes over multiple sessions like this one. I wouldn't be surprised if he put down those pings at the end of last session just to remind him what he was thinking of doing.
Yep.
All right, what can we see? New courtier, tactician courtier for Carthage.
Well, that's the other thing I wanted to look at was heirs. So what do we have going on there?
Oh, wow. Siontific is now completely broke following that volcano killing all his food production. He's just had to spend 250 to buy 26 food. That's horrible.
Yeah. We are seeing a bit of an econ shift, though. If you look at all of his build queues, it's all specialists or building or econ.
Yeah, makes sense at this point. I think certainly Carthage is not planning an attack anytime soon, and I would guess with their military advantage, they're feeling reasonably confident that they don't have to build military units to defend right now. So yeah, full econ mode, trying to outpace their opponent makes sense.
I wish Scientific he did such a good job of this in game the first session. I wish he'd do it this session too, of just parking his military units in the very few forests on this map to kick the scouts out. Like that scout is driving me nuts right above his artisan city of Sulky there, because he's
Yeah.
been such a good job of controlling all the forests except for that one.
Yeah, it would be nice to see a unit there, certainly. I imagine he's probably cut most of the forest that he doesn't want to keep, but of course this is a river forest, so it's more attractive for when he does get forestry to put a lumber mill
Yeah, but
down
he
there.
doesn't have
But
to
that's
cut to kick the
yeah,
scout out, right? He
yeah,
can just
that's
park the military unit there.
yeah, absolutely. There's nothing stopping him putting a military unit there, indeed. All right, back to Assyria. Let's see what else have we got. A couple of events here. Nothing super impactful.
That air is minus 200 standing with him.
Ooh, furious, disappointed, and estranged. Yuck.
And ill at
That's
the moment.
unfortunate.
Would it be a blessing if this guy died?
He's certainly not doing a lot for the economy at the moment. Although, if the leader died and he got in charge, a judge is quite a nice econ archetype if he wants to sit back and tack up a bit. Can
Yeah,
upgrade
although his
some.
spot isn't incredible for a judge. He has none of the buildings that actually have tiered upgrades right now. So basically just be garrisons at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. Assyria is quite light on urban buildings. They mainly just have the, yeah, barracks and shrines and garrisons, I believe.
How
In
many
fact,
groves are? Because he's just starting to put. I'm seeing those groves go online this turn. Those are a big science boost. And there's what, four? One, two, three. It's only three. No, there's two in the back. That'd be five. Just trying to see how much of an impact. That's a pretty, for a guy who doesn't have a lot of tech, he's gone pretty hard for land consolidation here.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a nice bit of science. If he can get some monasteries up, it would be even better. Although it doesn't look like he's particularly close to that. No one has founded Judaism yet, so a couple of ranchers could get a religion up. That might be quite nice at some point. Although Assyria does not have husbandry.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have that route anytime soon. I do like camels on this map, though. There's a lot of arid, and camels good versus the horse units and the elephants that Carthage is playing.
Yep, camels would be a nice investment for Assyria, certainly.
And he's got land consolidation. He has camels up north, so there's going to be at least one city capable of producing them. And we'll see if he actually does it.
He needs more food at the moment. He's a bit shy on food, which I guess is why he's got all these farms and granaries
I was going to
pinged.
say, I'm going to guess from the planner here that he's aware of that.
But he's not actually started work on any of them yet. I mean, I guess the groves are probably more important, and he will get some food from the groves as well, of course. So that will help.
Yeah. I mean, I like his plan here, right? He's got a bunch of slingers. He's invested a bunch in lumber mills, both for his shrine for the military production, but also presumably to upgrade those slingers to archers at some point. I've forgotten the resource cost exactly on the rams, mostly wood. So that's another investment that potentially pays off if he wants to go for battering rams. Then he has
Yeah,
the wood
it's
investment already done.
100 wood and 50 iron, and yes, he is building a battering ram in his capital now. So we are starting to
I
see
love
the
that unit.
first ram come out. Exciting stuff. Just looking at the tech tree, I see he has Bodkin Arrow ping targeted on the tech tree, so it looks like he's going for a longbow mass slinger into longbow upgrade, I would imagine, which is probably why
Actually,
he's
really
heavily
close to
focusing
it
on the
too,
wood.
surprisingly.
Yeah, Lancon is gets you quite a lot of the way there. So yeah, Combo Mana and Bodkin Arrow is what he needs for that. Bodkin Arrow is a 1,000 science tech, and he's only at 46 a turn, so that will take him over 20 turns at the moment just for that one tech. But if he can significantly boost up his science rate, then yeah, that could well help a lot.
And those grows will go a long way towards that if he's at such a low amount.
I see Sion has put a ping on the pillaged farm next to the volcano saying thanks, Mohawk. He appreciated that volcano a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
I'm
can be.
experiencing a very large calamity that's entirely one-sided in one of my multiplayer games at the moment, and I am feeling that exact same sentiment.
Yeah, can be quite painful, certainly. And we see some more pings as well. No build queues, building units, Sad Panda. Throwing all your econ into a push equals great idea, unless it doesn't work. Yeah, fair enough. Yes, that is a fair point. Sion has been a proponent throughout all the matches he's commented, saying always make sure you have at least one build queue building a military unit, and of course now he's flying completely against his own advice, but he doesn't have the econ for it. So what are you going to do?
Yep. I think like everything, like all of those types of sayings or suggestions, they are situational at best, right? It's
For
a
sure.
heuristic, not an absolute.
Yep. I mean, I do think there's some wisdom in saying you don't want to be stagnating on your military score. You do want to keep building units, especially in a duel where you don't want to let your opponent just creep ahead of you.
For sure.
Just have a quick look at the military score. They're both stagnating at the moment. No more military units in the last couple of turns. Oh, actually,
Yeah, less of a game plan from Scientific, huh? It almost feels like he was expecting that Carthage advantage to get him the game and hadn't really thought about the late game a bit. I feel like Aran has a very clear plan going on. His improvements reflect his tech choices. His units reflect his opponent. I think that is a coherent plan that we're seeing getting pulled off on that side. I hope Scientific will figure out what he wants to do here and start making some moves to making that work. So at the moment, it just feels like a weak economy, a failed attack, and a bunch of units sitting around.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see that Aaron has Bodkin pinged, so we know that is what he's aiming for. Whereas Sion doesn't have anything tagged on the tech tree at the moment, apart from the tech he's getting at the moment, land consolidation. So it maybe he has a plan and is just not showing it off. But yeah, it doesn't not immediately obvious what he's thinking.
Council, you don't see that too often. What do you think that is? It's probably just a one-turn timing thing.
What's that? Sorry.
I just see council going on in one of Aaron's cities.
Oh, in Arafa, right. Yes, I'm not sure what he's thinking there. I would have thought a full-turn spearman or Barine would be better there, or even a woodcutter maybe, or a fisher. Does he need? He is about to get a rhetoric. Maybe he's trying to save up civics for a law. He's on
No, he's on
four
4.
laws, so he
I think
doesn't
it might be for
immediately need one.
upgrading the grove. I think he's gonna ping. He's gonna upgrade the grove to get the other grove, and he was just waiting on the timing to start that specialist for maximum speed on that. That's my
Yep,
guess.
yep. That absolutely makes sense. So ambition-wise, Aran has 3 done. He is still trying to kill 5 military units with his leader, which is just not going to happen by the look of it.
Yeah, I didn't like that ambition grab when he did that last session.
Yeah, it could have even been done with the barbarian and tribal units left on the camp, but he just didn't prioritize it and just threw that one away. I think so. Yeah, bit unfortunate. And
See
send
what the spears are doing
6.
now. That's revealed. He's gone to put him on barracks just to get that free experience every turn. He's got 4 sitting down there doing that, which isn't bad.
Yeah, that makes sense indeed. And we can see, yeah, his other ambition was 6 luxuries, which I guess the land consolidation resources will take him a fair way towards once he gets specialists up on them. Sion, oh dear, Sion's ambition is 20 resources of each a turn, which he is actually done apart from wood, but he doesn't have. Actually, he does have forestry, of course, but he's getting
Yeah,
land
just no
con.
lumber mills quite yet. Yep.
Do we see
It's
any
very doable
land?
ambition. He's got plenty of time.
Yeah, I don't see any lumber mills being built, but he may well have been waiting to get his mines online first because lumber mills cost iron. He didn't have any.
Yep. I think he's been selling his stone. I don't see buildings coming out. I guess the walls cost some stone and the forums cost some stone. But with a decent stone income in, that's actually tanked. Wasn't it over 100 a minute ago? Am I imagining that?
The stone income.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look. Yes, his stone income was up at 81, quite a few turns ago now. I possibly switched out of. Oh, that's right. He had the slave rebel event, so he was running slavery, and then he switched to freedom. So that tanked him by 20 or so
Oh,
stone.
freedom at this stage of the game, not something I would want to be playing.
It's not ideal,
Maybe,
but it's better than 9 rebels. I think you get at that. But if you let the slave
wow.
rebellion event go to its full extent, so yeah, he'd have to spend a lot of civics switching back to slavery at this point. Which honestly, he would be really useful for him. But yeah, it's 400 civics to switch back now, which
And his
is he can't
statesmen
afford
are
that
also
either.
really pissed. So I suppose the minus rebel chance off freedom isn't too bad here.
Right, yeah, that's helping him as well. Although the rebels wouldn't be a huge problem for him with a big standing army standing around with nothing to do.
This sometimes happens when I play Carthage to me, which is that so much of Carthage early civics are from dropping expands down that sometimes I will be surprised when I run out of expansion spots and the game hits its kind of midpoint where I don't actually have that much civics income, but I've had so many civics the entire game or so much civics the entire game that I felt like I could just spend it wherever I want. And then I'll be surprised when I run out. Maybe that's happening
Yeah.
here to him.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely easy to do, especially when you have a really strong leader that's giving you loads of money or civics, and suddenly they die, and suddenly you're bankrupt. It's big swings can happen in Old World quite easily. Incoming
All right. So if
camels.
we look at Scientific, he's going to try to stabilize his economy. He's grabbing land consolidation. Has he pinged anything else in the tech tree? No, not really. What is his best play here? He's seeing spears and slingers with a defensive player teching for something. What are you doing as Scientific right now?
Let's have a look. So what does he actually have in the tech tree? He's about to get Lancon. So I mean, now we do see. No, we've just switched back to back to Aran. That's why. Hang on a minute. Right, let's actually switch over to Sion and have a quick look at his tech tree. So he's getting Lancon. So yeah, Mana and Bodkin is actually not too far away for Sion either. So that might be a reasonable pickup.
Although he has such little wood right now and hasn't even started those lumber mills, are you thinking he's going to be like, what I really want is an archer upgrade? I mean, I guess he already has regular archers, so Bodkin is just the next tier of units he already has.
Yeah, I mean he can certainly spike his wood income not too difficultly. He's got quite a bit of forest, especially along the river as well. So I guess that is actually mainly concentrated in the south. He doesn't really have a lot of forest in the north. I think Sion has clear chopped a lot more than Aran has, which I know Sion is a big proponent of just clear chopping the forest, but I suspect that may come back to bite him in this game because, yeah, long term, he probably doesn't have as much potential lumber income as Aran does. So maybe longbows is not a good plan. But what does he want then? Maybe siege. Siege might be quite nice. He did obviously pick machinery, but then switched away from it to land consolidation. But yeah, certainly I could see machinery and ballistas would be amazing against Aran's composition. Ballistas would absolutely shred everything Aran has apart from the ram, of which he has the elephant for.
Yeah, that's what I liked too. It's also a big industry boost off of ballista tech.
Yes, getting the windmills up will definitely help his income as well. Indeed. See, Assyria is taking husbandry now. So I wonder if that is... Oh no, he has spoked wheel tagged, so he wants probably
Maybe just
chariots,
wants
maybe the
some horse
Chancellor.
units, or maybe portcullis perhaps. Yeah, the Chancellor's a good suggestion too. He's probably missing some of his council members, and he's got 2 problematic family members at over minus 100 each. He may want to do some jailing.
Yep, maybe. But I mean, also he might just be thinking he wants Judaism. He might be thinking religion is sensible at this point, especially with these groves online. It's got to be tempting to get some monasteries down. Let's see, yes, he does have monasticism tagged as well as the tech. So he probably wants that A for a law, but also B, yeah, it would be really nice if you're getting that to grab monasteries
especially as a cleric already
well.
starting divine rule. He probably wants polytheism, get his shrines up everywhere.
I see Soren is in the chat. Hey all, how's it going? It's going well, thank you. Yes, we're sitting back and econing up at the moment after the failed push from Sion in the last stream. Wondering where we're going tech-wise. Well, we know Aran is probably teching towards longbows.
Cut out a bit there, Fluffy. Could you say again?
So I was just saying that Soren has just appeared in the chat asking how it was going. I was just giving him an update. Too bad there's no Center City site. It's interesting. A lot of the mirror maps do have Center City sites, but not in this game, which lends this map more towards being defensive for both players. No one can easily grab the middle. Obviously, Sion has tried with these forts, but that didn't work out very well for him. Always good for provoking.
No, he went with a very early game strategy. It's very Carthage, right? Like all your stuff up front, all your resources invested in that push, and then. But I just did not think the timing was right when he hit north on last session.
Yep, for sure. Too early. We're seeing a lot of slingers now. We're seeing 3 slingers under production. All to Prince Officer Worker. So Sion is taking up a bit. I imagine with that slinger production, Sion has to be thinking about upgrading them towards longbows or possibly even crossbows. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he grabs a mana and then starts attacking the siege techs towards windlass.
Yeah, it could also be that these are the only resources he has enough of to build military on. And he doesn't want to get too far behind. But I think you're probably right. He's looking forward to the future a bit.
So someone's asking about a unit tech advantage. So Sion has African elephants and Aran has his rams. So they both have their first level unique units. They're both on 4 laws each. Still they are. Sion has access to axes and archers, whereas Aran has axes and spears no archers, but he does have access to camel archers now, of course, because he has land consolidation, which Sion will also grab shortly as well. So we could well
You know what
be
else,
seeing some
Fluffy?
camel soon. Sorry, go on.
Have you looked at Sion's leader in a minute?
Okay, let's switch
She is
over.
a naturalist carpenter. So all the siege units get a boost, and all of his lumber mills get a boost. Why are we seeing him not do machinery?
Yeah, I would love to see machinery, and yes, a carpenter leader does just make that even better for sure.
Carpenter and naturalist.
Yeah,
Get those lumber mills uh, and it's good versus the unit comp of Assyria right now. It's not bad versus Rams, and he already has counters for Rams. So the next things he's likely to see from Assyria get countered by that line. Yet he's chosen land consolidation. Maybe just land consolidation for the groves, and then hopefully we see him switch back to machinery kind of tech line. Or what are you thinking? That what's his thought process? Why has he gone land consolidation here instead of continue down that line?
I
The
mean,
line that makes sense.
knowing Sion, he might just want camel archers. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a great pick against Assyria, which has no cavalry whatsoever. But as you said, there is quite a lot of Aran at the top, so even against infantry units, they're certainly not bad units.
Yeah, and he's got two. He's got riders, unlike Syria, so he can import camels into his rider cap, and that give him two cities able to build camel archers. I don't hate it as like a grab this tech to get the groves going to keep that science going while grabbing a couple camels and going back to ballistas or something. But it's just his leader is so synergetic with a wood-based, siege-based strategy right now that I'm surprised, and that works so well on this map for what's going on. I'm surprised that isn't on his mind. So I'll be
Yeah,
curious what his next tech is. Maybe that will define for us a little bit what he's thinking.
yeah, for sure. We are seeing quite a few lumber mills coming up for Carthage now, so he's certainly working on his lumber income. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he actually puts. I guess he is governing the capital at the moment with a 7 wisdom governor, so he's probably not going to want to switch out of that. He's getting a moderate amount of science out of that, although the capital isn't actually producing that much science, so it's not that big of a deal. It might be quite nice to put the leader as governor on one of his wood producing cities if he did want to spike his wood income. So we have epics and exploration available as lore picks for Assyria now. I'm not sure he particularly needs either of those laws. Might
There's
be.
something very sad going on here, Fluffy. I don't know if you've noticed.
I've noticed a circular road in the middle of nowhere, but what are you referring to?
Sion has access to tyranny. His economy is toast right now, right? Almost nothing coming out of this, right? And he has access to tyranny, which would be a huge boost for him right now in terms of gold per turn. But he doesn't have the civics for it.
Yep,
So he's just sitting there at like 50 civics staring at tyranny that could save his economy right now.
that would be really nice. Yeah, that's 267 gold. Yeah, that is a good shout. That would be huge for him. I mean, Constitution would be 10 science as well, which is also nothing to sniff at.
Yeah.
And yeah, I imagine if he had the civics, he'd love to be in slavery as well. But yeah, it goes to show, as you were saying earlier, if you burn all your civics early as Carthage, you might get a lot to start with, but it doesn't last forever.
It's funny too that it's actually, I'm not sure about the slingers here. I think this is him trying not build any military units, but there's another byproduct of that. By not building any specialists right now, he actually gets his civics back per turn. So he may not have just wanted to be wasting all those civics when he
Yeah,
needs new laws.
that is a very fair point as well. Yep, he does need his civics quite badly, and he doesn't have an awful lot coming in. Wow, Hippo Regis has a huge amount of civics. Seeing 22.6, I guess it's actually not that huge, but it's pretty good. But
Yeah,
yes.
5 charisma judge as well as statesman, right? If he
Oh,
could
and
get that family under control, he would actually be getting even more out of that.
a Rising Star
Minus
governor as well.
175. Oh no.
Yeah, that governor of Hippo Regis is Zenobia the Rising Star, who's a 4545 judge Rising Star. That is, yeah, pretty stacked city.
I would really like to see some family actions from Sion right now. His ruler's young, 34, so she's going to be around for a while. His families are pissed. He's got accent. He hasn't influenced the religion leader, the paganism religion leader, and he hasn't influenced the Zoroastrian Zoro leader either. He really needs to just I know his economy's tight right now, and he's probably struggling to get all of his other things going. But he's got to fix this dissatisfaction at some point, especially when one of his families literally scales their yields off of opinion level. Like he's
Interestingly,
standing.
sorry, I was going to say interestingly, he has spent some money on a high synod mission for Zoroastrianism, so he's trying to boost his religious opinion, which
We only got one religious family right now, so
yeah,
why that one? And
yeah,
isn't that a civics cost, or is that a gold cost?
it's a gold cost. But
Okay.
yeah, probably an influence would have made more sense there, I think. Yeah, as you say, he only has one Zoroastrian family. I mean, he does have the religion in the negative, so there's a chance for all of those families, all of the cities that have that religion to be have religious dissent and start spawning rebels. So he's probably trying to avoid that. But again, he's got freedom. He's got all the military units around to squash rebels. I don't think he needs to be too worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, for me though, it's his military is a mix of all of his families. Primarily not statesmen, so that's not so bad there. But he's standing in his city where the conflict is occurring at, right? The two cities that are standing there with all the troops massed on the borders. That's a statesman city. He doesn't want huge amounts of negative standing in there, right?
Yes, indeed. No, it would be really nice to get the statesman opinion up, if only for the civics bonus. One other thing I did notice is that he has just been rallying troops, so he's actually spending his civics to get more training, which is surprising.
Insane is the word you were looking for.
And he has a huge amount of training already. What is he planning on doing with all that training? Does he have an hero heir? He does not have a hero anywhere in the line of succession. What on earth does he want that? He does have a zealot. No, he doesn't have any zealots in the line of succession either. That's his husband.
Maybe he misclicked.
That is very surprising. I'm not, really not sure what Sam was thinking there. That would be an interesting question for him if we remember by the end of the game.
Yeah, you write it down and you write out what the fuck were you thinking? What you did.
So good.
So I'll look back at Syria. I mean, as you guys have pointed out many times in this tournament, as a cloud player myself, I much prefer the no time pressure on my turns. So time pressure might do this to you. You don't get that sense, at least for me, when I'm playing the back and forth turns like this with the time counters on them. For me, that tends to mess up my long term planning as well. I just don't get the space to look back at my empire as a whole and go, man, I really need to sort these families out, and here's the path to do it. I kind of get more stuck on the short term stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's having the same issue.
It is certainly easy to miss stuff. I mean, Sion is generally a very quick player, and he has quite a lot of experience with playing in timed games, so I'd be surprising if it was messing with him too much, but I think you're absolutely right in that it does make long-term planning harder. We're seeing some ship movement from Assyria up in the north here. He's poked a ship in and has now retreated it back a little bit. So it's just...
Chelsea's actually burning, pillaging here.
Where's that? Not seeing that.
In between the two cities in Carthage, there's a Assyrian ship that is pillaging dyes right now.
Oh, wow. Okay, yes. Yes, he has moved in on all sides. Very interesting.
And it's funny, when you do something like this, when you poke with a ship like that, the first thing everyone does is their coastal cities switch to ship production because they don't want that crap happening to them, right? But his follow-up is a gardener and a fisher in the two coastal cities. So the counter poke is going to be really annoying for him.
Well,
I guess if he gets some damage and...
It depends if Sion can actually do anything about it. I mean, he's got quite a few ranged units who can attack that ship, so he's not going to be able to hang around there for too long before having to back out again. But it's just Aran harassing again, as we saw in the first part. Aran is really good at harassing and just slowing down economy, making a nuisance of himself. That's definitely going to be a hit to morale.
Soren just had a really cool idea. He said it'd be interesting to let players have a second who's watching the game to give them high-level advice when they don't have time to figure it out.
Tag team.
That would actually be super cool
playing
format. Yeah, like one player plays and one person is like advising. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely possible, because of course you can actually join the game with two players in one slot, and then in theory both two
You know
players
what we
could play
just
one
done, though?
nation.
What you just done by saying that. If you don't have that banned in the rules, there's nothing stopping players from doing that right now. They could sit on voice to somebody.
Well, that's
So what
true.
you've done is you've opened the door now for all the future games to have someone advising, a little whisper in the back of their head, telling them what they should be
Yeah.
looking at.
Well, I mean, obviously there's lots of ways people could be cheating. I mean, people
Oh, I
could be
wasn't thinking
watching
that's
this.
cheating. I mean, that's not technically cheating by the rules that you have, right?
Well, sure, okay, yeah, we are definitely relying on a player's sense of honour, I think, there to an extent. But I mean, even if a player was streaming their own POV and people were watching and giving them advice, that is kind of the same thing, right? Just having viewers comment on what you're doing and giving advice.
Well, all these things are things you address in the rules, right? Because if it's not against the rules, then it's not fair for the players for you to assume that the players will think that is cheating, right? And if one player thinks it's cheating and because they have some different sense of honor than another player, and another player doesn't, and one player uses that, it's an advantage. So it's just addressed in the rules, right? I don't think it's cheating one way or the other until the rules say it is, right?
Yeah, that is a fair point. We probably should specify in the rules that you don't stream your. Well, I don't know. I mean, the whole point of the
Yeah, I know,
tournament,
right?
certainly one of the goals for Alcaraz for the tournament, and is to get community involvement, get people watching and playing Old World, and obviously a great way of getting people involved and watching is to stream these matches, which is
Yep.
the players as well as the casters. But yeah, it's a point we might want to think about for sure.
Yeah, you can ask streamers who are streaming their point of view to have their chat, either mute their chat or minimize their chat or some version of that. It's ways to do it. I'm just saying that it was such a cool idea thrown out there, like how useful that would be to have someone else who wasn't stuck on making every action in the turn timer, helping give you suggestions of what you might want to be focusing on. I think that's a really cool idea. That the immediate follow-up is, well, why couldn't they be doing that already? And they probably could. And if you don't want some people doing that and not other people doing that, you should address that in the rules.
Yeah, for sure. Indeed.
An axe poking out from Asteria's side. Was it pillaging and running back, or just having a look and running back?
I think we might have seen another fort getting burnt there. Yeah, it looks like there's one less fort than there was before.
Okay.
So Assyria's ship has backed off now after getting quite heavily attacked. And the ship to the north seem quite happy to stay there. No, they are backing off as well. Okay. So he's just seeing what he could pillage and harass, and obviously he's decided in the north he can't realistically pillage anything because there's all those ships there in defensive positions.
Yeah, Sion with that tactician right now, that kind of understated but pretty powerful ability that got you in your last match, right? The tactician sight bonus. So Sion not having to pay a lot right now to keep good eyes on Assyria. Assyria having to spend orders every couple turns to poke out and have a look.
Yeah, that's extra sight from the tactician is very good, interesting. Very good, interesting. I've forgotten how to speak.
In fact, Assyria's leader is literally blind, so probably doesn't help too much with the vision. It's got okay sight when I switch to his side.
Yeah, and we keep on track. So Assyria just has the one scout. I've got a feeling all of Carthage's scouts are dead unless he's built. Oh, he has built one more. Yeah, and it's sitting just outside Erbil. Yes, there is some scouting there. Was there a chat message there? No, okay. So yeah, does Assyria have orders to burn for this type of pillaging? Let's have a look at the order account. Assyria has 35 orders a turn, and that is with 9 improvements being instructed. That's a huge amount of orders. Assyria's doing really well there.
Yeah, I'm looking at Carthage right now. Carthage is at 22 with also 9 improvements. So, like, that's a huge difference. That's like 10 more for them, right?
Yeah, so Divine Rule putting a little bit of work there, giving him 3 orders. And he's got the Orator Leader, of course. The Orator Leader is, I think all his cities are friendly. So, yeah, that is quite a good order boost. So, yeah, Assyria actually has an enormous order advantage there.
Oh, his families are so happy too. 500, 346, and 258 for Assyrian families. So what? All 3 of them are giving full orders, right? So that's 6 he's getting from the Orator. Is that right?
Yep,
so
that's right. Yep.
Yeah. 200 is quite a high break point for that, but man, he's definitely managing it just fine.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a skill that's worth paying attention to. Making sure your family opinions stay high is very valuable, and he's even doing it without a religion as well, which is, I guess he has Assyrian paganism, right? And of course, all his families are following the one religion because he doesn't have any other religions. So it will be interesting. Maybe he'll choose not to found Judaism just to keep his
Oh, I think
religious
this is
opinion
very
where it
much going
is.
to be a polytheism from him. I'm expecting to see shrines because he gets an order per city, right? He's
Yeah.
only at 3 shrines down at the moment. His shrines are pretty decent. They're pretty military focused as Assyria, so I'm expecting to see a shrine go down, at least one shrine in every city, and probably more likely multiple shrines in every city, right?
Yeah, makes perfect sense, right? So we had a request from chat just popping in now. Have there been any big movements since we started? Would love a brief recap. So I don't think anything drastic has happened. We've seen some fort
I mean,
pillaging.
Carthage's economy moved down. His income.
Yeah, there's been some economy work. Both sides are working on their economy. There's been some fort pillaging. There's been a little bit of harassment from Aran on the little bit of pillaging on the nets for the ships here. But yeah, both sides are mostly just working on the econ. We've got gardeners being rushed now in Jerwin and being rushed with civics by the look of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, interesting choice. He does have quite a good civics income. He's got 81 coming in a turn, and that is with, I guess, only one city actually spending civics.
Oh, and he did get Constitution. Okay, so he's done. Where did he get the 400 for Constitution? We've just been talking enough. I've missed 4 or 5 turns go by.
Yeah, I've been missing so much this match. I don't even have a really
That's right.
good
I don't think. I mean, the point
clue
of
to
watching
him.
it is to watch the interesting stuff, not necessarily every moment-to-moment decision going on. But I do think Constitution as a pickup is fairly interesting. How much is it giving him science-wise? Big chunk, 12 right now. It's a lot.
Yeah. Constitution is pretty good for sure. Yeah. See, the slow call of forts towards Assyria did not pan out. No, it did not pan out at all. Yeah, Sion threw away an awful lot of resources in that attack from the orders and the units, and just all the yields he spent on all of that infrastructure. It's all gone. Couple of forts left.
Militia and herbal. Why militia?
Well, that's wild. Is that a 2-turn militia? No, he's
It
already been
is.
building that for. Has he already been building that for a turn? No, he's just got some
Herbal.
growth rollover, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know why you
He's
would
got
want a militia there.
26 growth in that city, which is a lot. Is he close to the tech that gives
Oh,
him
mana.
conscripts?
Yeah,
He
mana.
is.
He needs combo and then mana, but yeah, he's not that far away from it. So he might be going for a
So these are
mass conscript
basically
upgrade at some point.
spears that can't get experience, right? That's what
Yeah,
a mana conscript is. Okay.
yeah, I think they're pretty much identical to spears otherwise, unless let's just double check that. So yeah, they're 5
Well, they're not
strength. They
quite
got,
as good. Anti-mounted 1 as opposed to 2, but otherwise
yes,
looks pretty
that's true.
similar.
Not quite as good as spears, but considering they are cheap growth units that you can mass upgrade, and you can even upgrade workers to directly to conscripts, easy to get a lot of them for sure.
Man, look at the local training in his, I guess his champion seat. Is that right? Nineveh? It's nice.
47.5, not bad, not bad. Yeah, he's got 2 elder officers, which helps a lot, of course, plus
And the lumber mill shrine with 4
yeah,
adjacents, 5 adjacencies.
5, almost fully upgraded. Yeah, plus the
Yeah.
training shrine there. Yeah, not bad at all. 47 is very decent for military production there. A question a little while ago: why are Syria's families so much happier than Carthage? I mean, religion is playing a big part of that, but let's just have a quick look. Otherwise, it's got quite a lot of legitimacy as well, and yeah, he's just been working on getting his family heads happy, I suppose. He's got a huge
They have identical legitimacy, yeah. So
family. Syria's got huge family head opinion with champions and with the hunters, and not bad with the cleric's head. But yeah.
But we can answer that, right? I mean, you look at these and you see we have, let's see, the hunter is conspiring with, the champion is oath, favored to, and endeared. I suppose there's not as many influences as I was actually expecting to see there. I was expecting to see a couple more of those. So some of those are going to be event-based, although some of them can be alternate outcomes to influence missions, right? It's also the single religion doing a lot of work for him here. His religion is quite happy, which boosts all of those families. And Orator itself has standing bonuses, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Religion opinion, but no
Yes, that
family opinion.
sounds about right. Orator gets plus 40 religious opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's certainly feeding into the high Assyrian pagan opinion. But yeah, I think it looks like he's been quite lucky with some of his events. He's got some good opinion events with his people. But yeah, he's also obviously spent quite a lot of time working on that. Yeah, he's, as Soren points out, he's avoided the world religion, so he's just got a monotheistic pagan religion, if that's the right way of saying that. Yeah, it's just giving him some good boosts. Whereas Carthage obviously is split between Carthaginian paganism and Zoroastrianism, neither of which like him very much. Yeah.
Yep.
Statesman has no councillor.
That's true. How is the council doing on either side?
We've got a quite a nice ambassador giving 45 family opinion for Carthage, so that's putting in some work, helping the family opinion a bit. There are no pastures with 2 specialists. No, I don't know if Carthage still doesn't have husbandry, and Assyria has only just picked up husbandry, I believe, like in the last couple of turns. So yeah, they've had no chances for Judaism to spawn at all.
Where are the horses on this map?
I
there
believe there's
many or any?
one. I believe there's one somewhere. Let's see if we can find it.
Horses in Carthago. So the rider cap has horses, and that's it, I believe, on that's at least the Carthage's side. Yeah, so probably not a whole lot of pull towards husbandry for Carthage, especially when they already have the elephants to do the routing. So
yeah, I guess for both sides, then both sides have obviously not prioritised husbandry for just didn't have a lot of use for it.
Maybe less powerful in the real-time stuff as opposed to the cloud stuff, but having at least access to a couple routing units is very strong for combat. So as Assyria, he's going to feel that lack sooner or later.
Oh, we have our first wonder of the game started. The Jerwin Aqueduct is being built for Assyria.
Interesting. Where has he chosen to do that?
So that's in Arpad in the south, next to a volcano. So you can get a couple of reasonable farms next to the volcano, and then some not amazing farms around it. But I guess he's mainly doing it for the specialists.
It's interesting. I didn't know that wonder could be built versus. I guess are volcanoes always mountains? I didn't realize volcanoes counted as mountains.
They don't. But farms get bonuses for volcanoes, and I guess the German can be built next to volcanoes as well?
I don't think it says that in the
adjacent to
right?
mountains. Oh, I guess not. All right. Well, I guess technically mountain is a height, and volcano has the same height. So yeah, that's probably
very interesting. I had no idea that could be built there.
Yes.
Well, I mean, clearly some game experience paying off here, because I would never figure that out. The fact that Aran even knew to do that is interesting.
Yeah.
And it is because of that, actually, surprisingly, volcanoes are almost a better spot than mountains for this in general, because you're going to get the 5 tiles much more often.
Yeah, and the tiles next to the volcano will have the 40% farm bonus, so you'll just get better farms
Today I
there
learned.
as well.
Today I learned that needs a better description on that aqueduct.
Well, fortunately we have someone in chat, so I'm sure he'll get right on that. Someone asked, are resources fully mirrored? They are, apart from down the middle line there can be some discrepancies, like there's marble just off the middle mirror line that isn't mirrored on both sides, but otherwise they are fully mirrored, yes. Yes, it has just been a stare down, no big battles this match. Another hidden rule we need to add to our special rules list. Well, feel free, Mojo, I'm sure everyone would appreciate it. You can create a wiki page.
Oh, what's there? I missed the... You're going to create a wiki page for what?
Mojo was saying in the chat another hidden rule we need to add to our special rules list. I was just saying, encouraging him to update the wiki and create a new page with some rules like that
Gotcha.
Might need some clarification. And yes, you're right. Resources in the middle can have a little bit of variance, but yes, generally they are mirrored.
do you think this disciple is going to do? You think he's going to start the disciple generating wonder on Carthage's side?
Let's have a look. So what
Down in Sika.
has... yeah, so Carthage doesn't massively benefit from their state religion at the moment. They do have veneration, so they can reduce rebel chance, I guess, if they spread the religion. It's not super exciting, but maybe a little bit relevant for the statesmen at the moment. Guess they already have freedom, so they're probably not seeing any rebels anyway at the moment.
Actually, I know what's going on here. So he's taking monasticism. He's 2 turns off. That's for a grove. The grove gets
Right.
or monastery rather. It's going to double boost the 2 groves he's standing between. So it's going to be a big
Yeah,
science boost. I like to see it.
perfect.
He needs to. He's definitely focusing on his economy, which is good because he started this session. His economy totally in shambles. So
Yeah, so let's just have a quick science check. We've got 93 science a turn for Carthage versus 58 for Assyria. So yeah, Carthage is still staying on top of the science game, has been ahead all game. Let's just have a look at the graph. Wow, science has dipped down massively from 98 to 74 in Carthage. Not quite sure what happened there. But yeah, Carthage has invested quite a lot more in the tech tree now at this point. Do we have a change of rule? It looks like we might have done. He's got a zealot on the throne.
I missed what happened with that thing because his leader was quite young, like in the 30s. Has he deliberately shifted this out then? Did he abdicate?
He's got a regent, so it looks like, yeah, his old ruler died last turn, and a
Fortunate.
regent has stepped in. He's got a
That's not what he wants to see right now.
10-year-old tactics student as the rightful heir, so hopefully he'll be able to groom him into a nice character. Yeah, but the current leader is not really what he wants at the moment. He wouldn't be terrible for a bit
I mean,
of combat, but doesn't do a lot for him
maybe better than
elsewise.
that. He does have a state religion, and he's got 1,300 banked training,
Oh, that is
and it
very true.
might take advantage of this regent in the short term to rush out some improvements or upgrades, or maybe specialists with some training.
Yeah, would love to see some training rushing. That makes absolute sense. He's got that huge bank of training that he's not using for anything else, so that would be great. Love getting a lush volcano German when the chance is there. Indeed. That's good. Right, what else is Carthage doing? So we're getting a scout, axeman, slinger, walls. So yeah, still investing very heavily in slingers. I can't.
It's kind of strange the Giron aqueduct here. Like I mean, it's a great spot on that volcano. Don't get me wrong, and it's going to do a lot of food, I suppose, which is relevant. But it feels weird that the first wonder that he goes for out of all the available ones it's not a particularly great one, right? It's not like there's a Sage City getting double value out of those specialists. It's not like there's a farm, there's bonuses off the farms itself. So why that wonder out of all the ones he could have chosen?
Well, it's certainly an interesting choice. I mean, I guess it is the only wonder that you can get immediate science value out of, and he is quite far behind on science, so maybe he is just thinking those 5 farmer specialists giving him 5 science is worth it.
Yeah, possibly. He just is okay with any boost in science. Yeah, that could be.
His food income he has started working on his farms and granary that he had plotted out, so he is getting quite a lot of food now. Food is very expensive on the map, to be fair. It's the highest valued resource, so getting more food is definitely
and I guess he does have that farm
bad.
plan going where he's clearly prioritizing food, so maybe it's just for him was enough for the food alone, and the science maybe just a little bit of a benefit. But for me,
I guess
I like
the question
that wonder,
is,
but I like it when it's a bit more impactful.
I guess the question is, which wonder would you have built if it were you?
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking through that. I mean, the fact he's about to hit strong in 1 turn in Jerwin, right? So maybe there's a bit of delay there, but I mean, he's got tons of wood. Isn't the museum something that's going to be pretty interesting for him as a science wonder? I mean, maybe Jerwin's not a good spot for it. Is there not much science? Not a lot of science income out of that.
There's not a lot of science in any of his cities, but yeah, he'd really want that in Nineveh, I guess, if he was going to build it anywhere.
I think Colossus would be quite good on this map, especially if you're building ranged units. I don't think Assyria has the +1 level shrine, but I suppose the iron's kind of out of reach for him. I'm not sure.
He's 11 turns away from strong in his capital, so I wouldn't be very surprised if we do see a museum get built when that happens, assuming Carthage doesn't grab it first. He certainly has the economy to support it. He's got huge stone stockpiles. And yeah, he could be grabbing more wonders if he wants them. Could easily be building the Zig, for example. Requires the Holy City, which he will have one of in Nineveh. Yeah,
It's pagan religion. Yeah.
so that wouldn't be terrible for a bit of civics income.
And he would like some more culture if he could in that city too, because he's on what? He's 4 laws active with a 5th available. So he's not too far off his tier 2 UUs.
Yeah, I think he's probably fine for culture in his capital at least.
Oh, we're seeing the new scout mechanic happening over here. It looks like the borders of Solchi expanded and have overlapped that scout now, and the scout's still hidden. Kind of nice to see.
I think he must have moved that scout, but it's not. Oh no, I guess it would have got pushed out.
No.
Yeah. No, but it is still in forest. Makes sense. Chat's upset that German Aqueduct was not built in German, which I can see
There's
that.
a German engineer who came to this city, and he's claimed he's made the title even though it's in a different spot. That's the story.
All right, what else is happening? So Carthage, I was about to say Carthage is about to repair those nets, but he still hasn't repaired the nets that got pillaged by that boat 5 turns ago, which feels...
May not be very high value compared to what else he's doing. Like, as long as he gets to it before the improvement goes. I mean, lost resources, but I don't think they were specialized, right? So no lost luxury.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have a special in there, so he is just losing 2 culture and 20 money a turn, which, fair enough, maybe he doesn't care too much about. I just hate to see political improvements.
Fix. You do want to make it so it's not like a 3-turn thing for the worker. You don't want to bring a worker all the way down there, repair it, and have to bring it all the way back. So when it's a bit more convenient, maybe. Oh, look, the museum has actually now been tagged on the map in German.
Oh, okay, so he wants it there. Oh, okay, yep, so he is going to go ahead and grab that. I mean, that's probably solid, to be honest, even if it's not a huge town city, it's at least denying it from your opponent, so... he started it.
He started it this turn, yeah.
All right.
I mean, I suppose all the military there is about as protected as the site's going to get. It is the frontline city, but I suppose if that city falls, you've got more problems than losing some science.
Yeah, so he's working on more specialists. So yeah, I guess he is going to just keep boosting up his science income there. In fact, he's rushing more specialists out. Wow, even more civic rushing, I guess. No, does he have? No, he has a judge. Yeah, it was gold rushed. Fair enough.
That makes sense. The more science he can get in that city, the more value the museum's going to give him, right? With the modifier. So
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. Once you start the museum, absolutely makes sense to get as many specialists as he can. He has run out of citizens now, although he will be getting another one next turn. So it'd be quite nice to see an acolyte in there and get some more urban specialists going on for even more science. He still doesn't have a lot of urban building potential. The monks, getting the monasteries and the monks would be great for him, although of course he still needs a religion if he actually wants to take advantage of that.
More interesting stuff going on from him too with his families to keep his cleric family. He's giving them pearls, even though pearls are not one of the resources that family particularly cares about. And it looks like the plan is just to keep all of his family standings nice and high. So furs, him rushing this fur may be like a double whammy, right? It's a little bit of science, but it's also a resource here that his hunters want. So I like this. I mean, he's paying a lot of attention to his families. We've seen the benefits it's giving him. It's giving him nice defensive bonuses. It's giving him lots of orders with his orator. And it's just a generally solid thing to be doing. It prevents a lot of problems. So it might just be more investment down that line.
Yeah, and of course he does still have his ambition for send 6 luxuries to families. So I imagine he's got his eye on that. Can he actually get there? So he's getting the trapper next turn for some fur. We're getting a gardener. Oh, that is a honey, yeah, so that's 2 more luxuries in 2 turns. He's getting a pearls fisher in Mardaman, so that will take him up to 5. In fact, actually, he's already got
guys in the south too, yeah.
He's already got 2 unassigned luxuries, so yeah, in fact, next turn he could finish that he could finish that ambition next turn if he wants to reassign the dies from Nineveh to a family. But I mean,
this is a lot of investment. Luxuries are not cheap to build. Even when you're rushing them, it's still quite an expenditure on some level. So, I mean, there's a lull in the combat, and he's teching to bigger units, but it's also a big period of time where he hasn't really invested in any military at all.
Yes, indeed. Syria must be falling behind on the military graph, and we can have a quick look at that again.
Second ram coming out though, I suppose.
It's
So
actually,
there's some there, and an
yeah,
elephant.
it's actually still pretty close. I mean, Scientific's building a lot of military, but given that they're only slingers, they're not actually padding his stat that much. Chat's pointing out that, yeah, there is a lot of discontent in German. It's level 7, so he's losing 35% science in that city. So he probably will want to try and fix that if at all possible.
Yeah, tough to bring discontent down though.
Yeah,
Slow and tough.
not easily done indeed. I mean, maybe an architecture pick just to get some baths up and stop it taking up even higher would be good. But
Yeah, he's also pagan religion. So if he gets his food really stable, he can start. He can recruit a clergy and pagan religion start buying down the unhappiness.
yes, interesting point. I always forget about that mission. What does that do? Is that just a happiness reduction?
Yeah,
Happiness
it's a
increase, sorry.
flat of like 60, I think.
Yeah,
200 food every 2 turns. I think you can fire it. It's a pretty
yeah,
quick mission.
yeah. Not bad. I mean, food is massively expensive
Yeah.
at the moment, so not easy to take advantage of. But yeah, if you, as you say, if he can really spike his food production, which it looks like he's doing, then that is certainly something he could take advantage of.
I would like to see a little bit of maneuvering of units if he finds the orders for it. He's left a hole through which right now Cav can be force marched in Jerwin, and he doesn't have anything planted on his aqueduct in Arpad either. Kind of be it's expensive to force march and kill wonders, but you can do it. And
Hmm.
when you're standing by a bunch of forests and there can potentially be a scout that he doesn't know about standing in those forests, in which there is one, and the scout can actually pillage the wonder, it only takes 2 force march military units to kill that worker, and then a scout to pillage the wonder, and you lose all of that investment. So I'd like him just to plant a unit there, make it cost the other player 2 more force marches to actually make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very easy to forget about the fact that your opponent can cancel wonders until someone does it to you, and then you really, really regret not having protected it more. But it is very painful to lose all of the resources that you put into that wonder, and potentially time if you do it just before it completes. So yeah, it's a lesson that is not easily forgotten. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
if no one's done it to you before, then maybe you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Even sometimes units along the way, because the only type of unit that really is fast enough to do that out of nowhere tends to be horse units. If you get a couple spears in a decent position, you can zock them out of it too. So
yeah.
nice
Yeah.
to see some of it.
Soren says Pacify City, which is an interesting solution to discontent level. It does require a chancellor
Coinage.
and b coinage. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely not anything that can be
Not
done
anytime
anytime
soon.
soon. But yeah,
Yeah.
late game, if he does manage to get his science up and his needs to get his discontent down, then perhaps that's a route he can take.
Why do you think he's moved these rams up right now? I don't like rams sat like that. They're very vulnerable to Cav, and they're very
Mm.
powerful if they don't get like alphaed by Cav. So why did they come forward now? Just to have him when he needs him? Not worried about an attack at all?
Good question. I mean, it seems from the way he's positioned, he isn't particularly worried about attacks. I would guess that he just wants to have them closer to the action because, of course, they do move slowly, so you do need to have them somewhere nearby if you want to actually use them. And yeah, it does look like he's not too worried about attacks at the moment, which, to be honest, in his position, I think that's probably fair.
I think we're going to see a stronghold come down under that ram, but even then, the ram can't. I don't know. It's probably fine. It's probably not going to. Oh, it's a lumber mill. Surprise. Okay. Just wanted to cover the worker, maybe. Expensive unit for that, though.
I think Aran is just feeling confident at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Let's see,
Confident
no
of not
more.
an immediate attack, maybe not confident of the entire game.
Yeah, for sure. He's secure in his current position.
Yeah.
Some hamlets.
When I look at Aaron sees Carthage as learned. It's never a good feeling when your opponent has a tech lead that won't stop.
Yeah, I imagine Aran is doing everything he can to catch up on science. He is building a lot of specialists. He's got the gardeners coming out, which is helping a lot. His science rate is going up quite nicely and will continue to do so for the immediate future. So yeah, he's trying.
And he's closing that gap, is he? It's actually about. It's He's not closing that gap. Never mind, never mind. But I suppose as the techs get more expensive and you get later into the game, the same amount of science gap is a smaller amount of techs. So
Yeah, true. But yeah, Sion is obviously doing the same thing and is managing to keep that lead, certainly.
we have seen Manor finally out of Sion. So it was. That's interesting. It's not machinery, and he didn't take. Let's see his actual options here. His options are
Oh, he could have taken
machinery, husbandry, or
yeah.
cartography are available. So it was Manor over machinery. So he's decided for whatever reason that it's Bodkineros.
I think so. I think he's looking at Bodkin to possibly even, cohorts or infantry square, or even crossbows, although that's much further away. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with the slinger spam to see Bodkin arrows. I mean, it's not.
It plays into all of his weaknesses. His opponent is going pure infantry and has rams.
Yeah.
Well, rams have a bonus versus ranged units, so the Bodkin are going to be not so great versus them. And he's playing against hunters, so if he's attacking, his archers are going to just be weaker than his opponent's archers. And Ballista play nicely into his resource problems and also play nicely against all the infantry. Why Bodkin arrow?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's a great pick. I think I would have to imagine that he's just looking at his current army and thinking, right, I've got a lot of slingers. I can do a mass upgrade. That will be a huge power spike. And if he can nail the timing and get it before Aran does, then perhaps he can make a longbow push work. But yeah, it's not definitely not going to be the best technology to use against the current comp of Assyria and potential future comp. Zenobia rules
there's another complication here too for that science idea. Sorry, Bob, let me cut you off. Please go ahead.
I was just saying, Sion has put a ping down. Zenobia rules, the Golden Age begins, which possibly. Oh, now hang on a minute. What has happened there? So where is Zenobia? So Zenobia was governing Hippo Regis, but she is not anymore. Oh, she's a Grand Vizier. Right, he's got a Grand Vizier. Wow. Okay, so Siontific now has a 4-5-4-5 statted, educated, inspiring, nice. Bold judge, rising star Grand Vizier governing all his cities.
Has lost the ability to choose any of his own build decisions.
He has lost the ability to choose any of his build cues, but that is a huge science boost for him. Look, he's just jumped up to 110 science a turn. Civic's income is getting stacked now. Discipline, money's going up nicely. Yeah, it's
maybe he's one step ahead of us here. You know what that might be? He might just know the way the Vizier chooses builds. Maybe he's just expecting this thing to spam a bunch of slingers. Yeah,
well, I mean that would certainly be in line with what we've seen from Grand Viziers in the past. They do like to build military units, especially if you're behind your opponent, although that's not quite the case here. I don't know how many of these build queues were after the Vizier was appointed and how many were before. I imagine possibly some are after, because I don't think we'd seen very many Axeman builds before.
I would like to see an influence action on her. She's at plus 84. Don't hurry. I guess it's just governing, so it's only happiness. Her yields, it doesn't change any of the yields if she's over 100, right?
It does not, no. So you get an extra happiness in a city with a happy governor, I believe.
And plus 1 growth, right?
Is that right? Yep, that may well be the case.
Okay, so maybe not that important, but
truly.
But it does also protect against her inevitable. She wants 20 things you don't want, and she gets more and more mad at you when you say no.
Yeah, getting her on side would certainly be nice. So we're saying truly a golden age. Someone says, I think he's just playing to try and get the final tech units first, which might happen when the Vizier dies. I mean, I think I would have taken it just for the tech boost, because if we have a look, I mean, we can probably see from the science graph when that Vizier took it.
It's about 20,
over.
Right?
Yeah.
Somewhere around
so
like
he was
90.
Turn 78, he was at 74, and the next turn he bumped up to 93. No, I think it was before that, because he was 94 at the start of this turn, so it must have been 94 jumped to 110. So it's giving him 16 science turn, which is over 10%. Certainly a nice boost.
And there's another downside from a serious position here, which is because Carthage has Zoro, he has access to the ability to build what are they called, the disciples, right? And the disciples can plant. They both have monasticism, but Sion actually has the ability to build monasteries,
Yeah.
whereas the pagan religion doesn't have disciples, and therefore he doesn't have access to monasteries for the science boost. And with the way the groves are layered in this map, there's actually a decent amount of science available from the monasteries in and above themselves, but as the grove modifiers. There's
Yeah,
another thing that's going to go in his Sion's favor for science.
yeah. Of course, if we look at the monastery that's finished in Sika, so he's getting 2 base science plus 3.6 from adjacent groves plus 1 from having the disciple on top. So that monastery is earning him 6.6 science, just from 1 improvement. Very solid indeed.
Yeah.
Don't think he'll install governors. There won't be combat soon to just ride the science boost as long as he can. Yeah, I would imagine unless there's a build that Sion really disagrees with, I can't see him installing governors.
Yeah, I mean, he's deliberately left all of his cities without governors for this, or maybe even unassigned them.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching when that turn happened. But he's got some decent builds. I mean, well, the northern city has built a fissure. Probably not what I'm imagining he wants right now, but maybe.
He's got, a lot of military units, certainly, which is maybe not necessarily exactly what he wants, but certainly doesn't hurt.
And actually, hilariously, axes are something he kind of needs right now. His opponent's running a lot of spears, and I don't know if he's chosen these or Zenobia has, but for once it works out well for him.
Yeah, what is Sion's unit comp looking at? Let's just have a look at that. So he has 9 infantry units, which are 4 axes and 5 warriors. He's got 8 mounted units, which are mainly mercs, a couple of African elephants and a chariot. He's got, 18 ranged units, 6 archers and 12 slingers, and then another 3 ships. So very heavy ranged, yet absolutely huge on slingers. Let's compare that to Assyria. Assyria has 15 infantry units, mainly spears with quite a few axes, 8 slingers and 1 archer, and 3 battering rams. So he's working on his battering rams, they're coming up, and also 3 biremes. Okay, so not that unbalanced. We're seeing a tsunami now. We've got a couple of pillage shrines, and that's also going to be hurting anyone standing on the coast. That doesn't actually affect anyone at the moment.
Yeah, not the worst, but obviously not the best either. Is there a second source of camels? I see 2 cities building camel archers. I didn't realize there was a second camels up there.
German,
I see it now.
Yeah, there is a camel. There's a camel. Assyria
so
has in Mardaman.
3 possibly from Carthage and 2 from Assyria. Okay, so there are more camels than I spotted initially. Makes that lane consolidation even better.
It's fun that they're both tech clank on at relatively the same time, so they're both starting to get camel archers out on the map at the same point.
Well, it's funny that Zenobia is playing the same as Aran. That's the most funny part for me. yes, but it's not. We got to remember, it's not Sion making the build decisions right now, right?
Yep, very true, very true.
We'll try to get Zenobia in on the interview after. Maybe she can tell us what her strategy is here. Maybe she can tell us why this net still hasn't been repaired in the south. It's got 1 turn left.
Oh wow! And he's just spent all his orders. He's just forgotten about it.
There's a worker standing next to it, looking at it.
Yeah, that's sad. That is sad. That's a waste. And we're seeing an archive too in Leptis, which is probably not really what he wanted. But I mean, yes, it's more science as well. But yeah.
All right. So what are we thinking is going to be... Well, I mean, Carthage is ahead enough in science. They're not forced to act, but oftentimes, if you are ahead in a stat such as science, you want a timing push if you can, because it doesn't get that knocks your opponent. Although you may be able to maintain that lead, you may not. And when wonders like the museum are coming up and Duran Aqueduct, and you don't have your own wonders coming up as well, you may want to prevent your opponent from getting the chance and the time to catch up. So assuming that Sion, who's a pretty aggressive player anyways, is thinking along those lines and looking to timing push, you thinking it's going to be Bodkin go?
I suspect he is probably going to take to Bodkin, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get his 7th floor up as well. He has 5 active with 1 available, so he needs 1 more law from tech. What would he get that from? Citizenship, maybe? Not maybe Doctrine. Doctrine would be a very nice pickup. He could start order rushing some units out. A longbow turreted elephant combo would be quite nice.
I mean, he's almost at his maximum lumber mills in his lands. There's a couple river ones in his middle city that's not been improved yet. But basically, he's at his maximum lumber up right now, and it's 55 a turn, which really
Yeah,
isn't that much.
it
It's
isn't.
gonna be tough upgrading all of these ranged units to Bodkin Arrow.
That is very true. I mean, one thing is that wood is still relatively cheap at the moment, so
But
potentially
his
he
income isn't
could.
high. It's not like he's gonna be able to bank a ton of money at 100 a turn.
No, but his food, iron, and stone income isn't bad. And food particularly is very expensive, so he could sell food and buy wood at pretty much the same rate. So
Yeah, that's
potentially.
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone pointing out Cyan did repair that net, so I guess he spotted it on the off turn, burned some training to buy some orders to actually go and repair that net. So good for Cyan. A little bit
Yeah,
unfortunate they didn't do it earlier, but better late than never.
I suppose.
So
Oh,
the
and this I'm very confused. Oh,
oh yeah,
he's labeled the ore as harvest in the bottom left here, but I saw him. So at the beginning of the stream, he farmer specialist the barley, which expanded the borders and put the ore 2 tiles out. My assumption when he was then gonna plant like a hamlet there to grab the ore into his borders, but he's deliberately leaving it because he's now not though. He's put a granary, which is not an urban building, so will not border expand to his ore. So he's leaving the ore out of his borders, not closing the sea loop there, and not getting a very strong military resource available to him. That's basically for training after the specialist, right? Why?
sorry, I'm lost. Where are we talking about?
If you switch back to Carthage on the bottom left of the map, looking at Sicca.
Okay. Oh yeah, right. The ore. Yeah, it's a little bit sad. That's a little
But
one
he already made the
harvest.
investment. There's a specialist on that barley, so he already border expanded to get closer to it. But he's now chosen not to plant a hamlet there to grab that. Why? And he's got a little label next to it for
Saying
harvesting. And I know
harvest.
there's some okay
Yeah.
harvest events on that, but really?
I mean that is the only thing I can think that. I mean, there's not. It's not going to be worth harvesting it just for the 10 iron, given that he's getting 110, 111 iron coming in
Yeah,
a
I think there's a
turn.
science harvest event. I mean,
So,
I can understand. I'm surprised that in his mind, the power of that, science event once every, God alone knows how many turns it's going to be. You're not going to get it every time you harvest the ore, and the ore is only going to come back every, it's at 10% per turn, right? So it's going to be maybe one every 10 turns you get to harvest, and maybe one out of 3 harvests you get the event or something.
well, I
Like,
mean, I'm pretty sure it'll only be once per game. Most of the events like that are. So yeah, he's only going to get it once. But yeah, I mean, no matter how good that event is, I mean, I don't know the event offhand what exactly it does, but I can't imagine it's worth not expanding to get that all for.
yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised by that. But I mean, the label is either ironic or intentional. Like it's one or the other. And if it was ironic, surely we wouldn't see him building this granary, right? We'd be seeing a hamlet.
Yeah, I imagine Simon has a plan in mind, and yeah, he must be thinking about events. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. Not knowing
It's a
exactly
high
what the
science
benefit
event
of
off
the
of an
event
ore.
is. Yeah, if it's science, then I mean, science is science. Maybe he values that more than the getting the ore resource in borders at the moment. And I guess once he gets that event, then he can then put a specialist on one of these farms and go and grab it. Oh wow, loads of rebels have just popped out of Leptis Magna.
Yeah.
That's a little bit awful. The end of
Interesting timing too.
autonomy.
Did you notice Aaron's stuck some units into the forest in between them? There's a
Oh
spear
right,
and an
yeah,
axe
yeah.
and a road popping up.
Poking forward. Yeah, I mean, I imagine he'll deal with these rebels fairly quickly, so it probably isn't going to be too much of an issue. But that's interesting. He chose to end at autonomy in Leptis Magna, which is where those rebels came from. But that doesn't actually make any difference at all because the Zenobia is still controlling that build queue. So it's not
No, it
like
does
he's
make a
getting.
difference, right? Because autonomous rule does not allow the production of units.
Ah,
And
you're
Zenobia
right. You're very true.
and Zenobia seems quite warlike, judging by her build queues here. So maybe he just wants that to stop building an archive and start building military.
Yeah, all right. I guess I could see that. He is losing the science that he would have been getting from autonomous rule, though. So he's back down to
Yeah.
100 science a turn. Is it worth getting one more city building military that's not even? I mean,
I suspect
13.8.
it's more
It's
of a long-term
okay,
thing,
but
right? Like you do eventually want to break the autonomy so you have control over the unit queue, especially when you're on a map that's as
yeah,
small as this, when you're only looking at six cities, right?
I
So
suppose.
it may have been like he's not at war right now. It's not a bad time. It's building dumb stuff right now. It's a little bit of science, but he wants the city back. I could see that as being pretty reasonable at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough, and obviously he can deal with the rebels. Be interesting to see if Aaron, I guess, excuse me, Aaron does see this right. Yes, Aaron does have visibility on the rebels, so he knows what's going on there. So it'll be interesting to see if Aaron does choose to try and push in and take advantage of this.
I can't imagine he has the window of time to do anything there. There's no roads there. It's all heavy terrain. His forces are up north. If anything, as Aaron, I'd be a little bit worried that these units that have been sent to deal with the rebels, what if they just start march east a little bit? You know, like in the sense of you might need to respond with units even if you're not planning to be aggressive here, because there's going to be a big set of forces down south that weren't there a minute ago. And all it would take would be 2 boats, and suddenly they're right on your borders.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we're still not seeing any more ships from Sion, so Sion looks happy to sit back and not do anything there. So it's not something that Aaron actually needs to worry about. But yeah, of course, you do need to bear in mind the threat of it.
I think you got to refer to the person actually in charge. It's not Sion building boats or not. It's Zenobia.
True, of course.
Zenobia fears no water invasions.
Yep. She just she does fear the land, though. Fears those spears.
She really does. Yes, she does.
It's actually a very, very sensible build choices. I do approve of Zenobia's choices here.
This has been a surprisingly good set of builds from her, quite honestly.
So
now it might just be go ahead.
I was going to say Aaron does actually have 7 laws available now. He is not enacted, but he has 4 enacted and 3 available, and he's getting civics boost in 2 turns. So in 2 turns, Aaron will be able to get 7 laws up. He's
still 5 turns off culture, though. Sadly, in his champion seat.
His champion's sorry, go on.
And I guess he could. I suppose he could drop the Citadel in Jerwin and upgrade the existing as he waits on the last one to arrive at the culture to get there in Nineveh. I mean, that would be pretty reasonable. They're already on the front line. I was going to say, otherwise, I'd like to see those Rams moving back to a spot that can be upgraded in.
Yeah, I imagine he will build a Citadel in Jerwin as soon as he can. That would be the sensible thing to do. He wants to be building Rams on the front line, getting them upgraded. Science says, hey, those are mine. What is he referring to, I wonder?
That is a good question. Could be the chops. It could be the forest chops going on over there.
And
they also want the lumber.
Yeah, maybe.
Which would make sense, considering Zenobia is all-inning these slingers and axes, I guess. Once the upgrade. Remember, we've been talking. His lumber income is not particularly great, and he's got a lot of ranged units.
It's pure luck. Am I seeing correctly? Fluffy lost his most recent match. Yes, I'm not going to dwell on that, but yes, I did indeed.
That's all right. I dwelled on it quite a lot during the commentary. If you want to hear about it,
I have watched the game back. Yes, it was most entertaining to see.
I thought it was reasonably unbiased.
No, you were very kind to me. I thought it was yes, harsh but fair. But yeah,
you've upset Mohawk, who I think as a whole, were at least all the individuals I've talked to are pretty solidly on the Fluffy's an incredible player, going to win it all kind of thing. You still have a chance, not ruling you out. Just it was a big upset, is what I'm getting at. Very interesting match to commentate.
Well, I'll give you my hot tip for the match. I believe Aran is going to win this tournament. He's a super strong player. He's obviously giving a Sion a good run for his money here, who's another very strong player. And I think he's going all the way.
I'm so excited. It is a long tournament because these games are long, and the simul sessions that players have to schedule and find the time to do that together across multiple time zones, across multiple weeks of this. It's a lot, but I'm really excited we're getting into the as late in the tournament as we are, right? These are 3 wins going into this, right?
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Let me just quickly double check that. So this is round 3. Yeah, so everyone's won 2 games apart. Actually, in fact, from Siontific and myself were the 2 people who started in round 2 because the tournament organisers judged us as the strongest players. So Sion actually has only won 1 match in this tournament so far. So in fact, same as me. So if we both get knocked out here, it will be a double upset.
Yeah, but still a loser's bracket to come back out of and fight your way back into the finals. And My point mostly being that where I was going with that was at this point of the tournament, a lot of the good players are starting to rise to the top of the ranks. So the matches are going to get more and more interesting on especially the winners bracket, as all the players who have won all their matches now get forced into competition with each other. So as you say, Aran, a very strong player from the looks of it, and he's done quite well in this game, in my opinion. A nice defense against Carthage, which I think is extremely strong, especially on a very small map like this. So I'm really excited to see the late stage games, the strategies and play that comes out of it. I personally think that you don't really see games get optimized until you start seeing competitions around them, mostly multiplayer, but sometimes just like speed runs or challenge runs or that kind of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what shakes out of Old World put on a competitive level in this tournament. So
Yeah,
really
for
excited
sure.
about
It
that.
is. It's definitely interesting to see the matches. Yeah, we've had some very strong players already. It's a very good competition, and yeah, we can only imagine it's only get better as we say goodbye to some of the weaker players, and yeah, competition is just hotting up from here. I think the elimination bracket is going to be quite interesting as well. We're going to have some great matches there too. Yeah, good to see, and yeah, we're getting some great feedback from this. Yeah, we're already balancing some of the changes have come into the latest patch, and there will be some more in the next patch. So yeah, we're definitely responding to the tournament and seeing what's going on here. So catching up on chat a little bit. Soren says Sion has the advantage here. This game he has the military and science advantage. Sion has the science advantage, definitely. He has slightly more military score, I guess. Oh yeah, no, he's ticking up a fair bit now with all these Zenobia military builds. So yeah, I guess on paper Sion has the advantage. I'm definitely not ruling Aran out, but just because he's dominated all of the military confrontations so far this game. We could see a strong push from Sion, but I think you have to factor in morale and the fact that Sion hasn't been winning his fights. It's definitely going to put a dampener on his enthusiasm for pushing in.
I'd like to see two things from Sion. First of all, if you're not going to put that ore on your border, I'd like to see you actually harvesting it on cooldown. And
Yes, that
second,
would be
I'd
good.
like to see a switch of the theater in which he's engaging. Like, the top is pretty dug in. I suppose Aran hasn't gone overboard with the forts, and it is a nice flat open terrain to attack into. But all the units are up there. They're already fortified. They're in the positions they want. He's manipulated the terrain in such a way that he's got all the forests on his side, and it's all flat going into it. And he's burnt all the forts that are close to him. I would like to see when this next timing push, the Bodkin push that we're expecting to happen here, I'd like to see that go south. It's a lot of terrain, but it's neutral terrain. You can throw some roads in there. There's no fortifications in there yet. If Sion can take those hills before Aran's troops get down there, just a couple turns of worker roads go kind of deal, and he gets all those hills with Bodkin arrow, that's going to be a really nice advantage for pushing in. And yes, there are some forests there, but those are actually kind of good for the attacker in those positions right now if he's moving in first and not into a big wave of troops back there.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think if he can surprise him and grab these key tiles, then definitely that will help. I mean, whether Aran will let him do that or not, he'll have to push in quickly and not get the response from it. But yeah.
And again, Sion was so good about this in the first session of occupying forests with military units to force the scouts out. What I want to see right now from Sion is take a couple of those units that are killing the barbs that have spawned there, go stand in the forests that there might be scouts in watching, and then get a worker up here to chop those forests out and to lay some roads down as you're sneakily lay some roads down as you're chopping forests. I want to see that behavior. I want to see him set up for that in mind, as opposed to like figure it out a little bit later when it's too late to do anything about it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Sion, again, is probably gun shy from having his workers killed coming out of Leptis. Oh, we are seeing some chopping though, right? Sion is listening, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not
That's a
gonna.
force march chop. You see
Wow.
that?
Yeah, he's going for it. He's not letting Aran have all those forests. I think that's fair play. If he didn't have anything he desperately needed to do with his orders this term, grab the forest where you can. Yep, his wood stockpile's starting to look a little bit more healthy now. He is going for Doctrine next, tech-wise. So that's interesting. He actually has already 1, 2, 3, 4, He's got 5 laws enacted and 2 available, so he already has the access to his 7 laws once he has the civics. But Doctrine obviously is very strong for order rushing out units. We have just seen a change in leader. He has his rightful heir has taken the throne, so he's now got a cultivator, compassionate, slothful, unfortunate
Slothful,
judge
not
on the
what he
throne.
wants to be running right now.
Not great, no. Although, to be fair, it's only minus 10%. Zenobia is giving him, plus 33% in all cities, so he's still up on training, if you look at it that way.
Oh, I didn't realize that Slothful didn't scale in the same way that Warlike did. I thought it was like a exact opposite, but I guess it's just a minus 10%, huh?
Yeah, fortunately, Aran has actually got the music lover trait, so we get a little bit of music now, because I don't believe either side has tech drama, certainly Assyria hasn't, on turn 86, which is kind of wild. I guess they've decided they didn't need it. So Aran's going for combo, so he's working on his Bodkin push. Still quite a long way away from it, to be fair. He's only got 68 science a turn. Combo is in 6 years.
Near 86. Not a good science yield at all.
No. No, and I'm not honestly sure why Aran's economy isn't that good. I mean, they have had that early conflict in the game. They have had to respond to each other and build military units, but Scientific hasn't really harassed Aran's economy in the same way that Aran has done back to him. So maybe...
I see two. I mean, I can answer that partially, and I see two pretty strong reasons right off the bat. The first is, if you look at his leader is 0 wisdom, 9 charisma over there. So it's not a wisdom leader. That's going to hurt. Especially this guy's been around for a while now. He's 67, right? I don't remember what year he came in, but it was pretty early. And then the second thing is, when you're playing against Carthage, you do he's taken a civ that doesn't have any particular science bonuses, Assyria, but it's a very strong combat civ, right? Mm-hmm. And he's built an extremely defensive, military-oriented empire. And if you look at his resources, his raw resources outside of science, those are all very strong. And he's invested a lot in the production of resources, which is basically the spamming of units going into it a little bit later. And these are all non-science decisions, and they make a lot of sense for playing against Carthage's early aggression. But they might bite him in the ass at this stage in the game, right? Because he might get out-tech now.
Well, I wonder if he's going to wait. Honestly, as Assyria, looking at the current situation, he's got access to 7 laws now if he wants them. He could be spamming out siege towers quite soon. Yep. I mean, they will struggle a little bit against African elephants, but it's still, if you can support that with other units as well, especially the spears. You know, a siege towers flanked by a lot of spears will do an awful lot of damage to Carthage.
It almost doesn't matter if they will get hard countered by elephants or not, in a sense, because that's the highest combat strength unit he's going to have upgrade available at all. And he can build that basically everywhere, has the resources to support spamming those. And he can do that regardless of his tech level once he has those laws in place, right? So I think that's actually a very smart, not that everyone isn't kind of going for 7 law you use at some point anyways, but I think it's very smart from a player behind in science to try to make sure you at least have access to something that has 8 power base.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. We're seeing some good promotions. We're seeing a heavy focus promotion. Got a couple of rams here with focus 2, and he's taking that wherever he can. So he's correctly identifying that critical hits are very strong and trying to lean into that. So yeah,
that's so strange.
Rams doing crits are going to be incredible. You don't think critical hits are strong?
Right? So here's the problem with why I don't know. Like, I go back and forth on this. I think crits are very strong when you have a high int general, and I think crits are very strong when you're playing with the show critical pending criticals ability. I think it's very strong in both those scenarios. I'm not always so sure outside of that. So a free promotion, when it's free, is kind of, even if it's not that strong, it's still better than nothing. But the thing is, in this game, when you're attacking units, you're rarely just slamming the thing in front of you, right? You tend to try to, before making attacks, add up to 20 damage. So you're full killing units. Units don't get weaker as they take damage. They still do full damage even when they're at 1 health, right? So full removing units is part of the strategy of this. They have adjacency bonuses, they have general bonuses. Removing units really matters. So the crit is unpredictable. If it's your 3rd unit making the attack and it crits, the crit's valueless, So it screws up your planning. So it's weird to see that highly prioritized here from Aran. I'm kind of curious if that will pay off. Maybe in the, when there's not when you don't have all the time in the world to think about things, maybe it's a little bit more important to just be able to slam and hope for a nice outcome.
Yeah, I think that is certainly relevant. I think in a time to network game, you're not always going to be able to exactly plan out your attacks, and you do end up doing a bit more slamming. But I think it's critical hits are great for focusing your damage. I mean, literally the focus promotion makes sense, but focusing your damage on a single tile, you want to be able to kill a unit. If you've got a line of units, then yeah, you don't with the one unit per tile, you can't always focus fire, and crits just help massively with that. I think it's
Sure,
very
but it's
strong.
opportunity cost, right? If you overkill a unit and you could have had a different promotion that did a thing, right? So if you overkill a unit, you waste that to some degree. So I hear you. Like if you need a certain tile dead, having the chance to crit on that, when especially if it's a very strong unit blocking that tile, is going to be helpful in situations. But it's hard for me to. I don't know. I'm still working that out as I play these cloud duels as to how much I value crit, and I don't actually think it's very high in general. So it's interesting that you have such a different opinion on that.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, partially it's a morale thing as well. Again, if you're expecting, your opponent to do a certain amount of damage and suddenly they come in and double that, then that is yes, it can mess up the attack plan, but it can also mess up the defender's plan enormously. And
Yeah.
it's horrible to see, especially when you get units hitting like 5 crits in a row. You just think, how on earth am I going to deal with this? This is just devastating. I mean,
Yes.
I like them. Well, actually, I don't particularly like crits. I'd much rather see deterministic combat that can be exactly planned, and crits are the fly in the ointment of that. But they're here. I think they're strong. And yeah, great to see.
Yeah. They make for fun to watch combat. No denying that.
I have been completely ignoring chat for a while. I must catch up and see what people
Look at
are
the animation on
saying.
the Jerwin Aqueduct. Do you see that like that as well?
Yeah.
Bizarre. He's built it on a mountain and he's broken it. I think Mohawk should send him a bill for this. He's broken the Jerwin Aqueduct and he needs to fix it.
Yeah, it can be tricky. I know our graphics engineer has spent countless hours working
It's a beautiful wonder.
on
It's
the
a beautiful
aqueducts.
wonder.
It's very hard to get these splines right. I understand. Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty. I think a lot of the graphics modelers have done a fantastic job on a lot of the wonders. They look really good. What are we seeing here? With more shrines coming out, presumably we've just done active polytheism. Yes, we have. So yeah, we're getting shrine spam now everywhere in Assyria. Anyway, yes, what I was going to catch up on Filthy on chat. We're mainly talking about favourites for the tournament.
You mentioned Aran. Lots of people have mentioned your name. Certainly, Siontific's name has come up a little bit. I know a lot of people were very excited with Oro's last performance. Who else do you have? I haven't watched. Who was the other winners bracket last victor? I haven't watched their games.
Klatt has been doing very well.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of his stuff.
Yeah, he's been utilised a good Carthage push in his last game. And then
Carthage very strong in this dual tournament.
Alcaraz versus Nazar is the other third round bracket. So obviously Alcaraz, the organiser of the tournament, has an awful lot of MP experience. Nazar's been doing very well in his games recently as well.
He claims some stats when we were commentating. He claims you have a 95% win ratio versus him.
Right, I believe Alcaraz clarified that, and it's actually a lot less than that, or at least in terms of recorded games in the Hall of Fame. It's more like 8 games we've played, and he's won 1. I'm not
Did
sure
you let
how.
him win the one just for morale purposes so we keep playing?
Funnily enough, that was a we played the first half of the game in network. That was a Rome versus Persia game, I believe. And yeah, I stomped over him as Rome quite a bit in the first half of the game. Took a few cities, but couldn't sustain it, and he out-teched me and got cash frags and absolutely walloped me. But yeah, that was a Rome being Rome, dumb aggression, not working out in the long term. That was an interesting game, but yeah. Alcaraz certainly, he likes to plan in advance and go for late game combat, and I think he's very, very skilled at that when he can get there. It's sometimes easy to disrupt his plans early, but I think he's definitely been learning. We've seen in the tournament he did a nice Carthage rush in one of his games, so he's definitely can adapt. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there in his next game. But anyway, back to this game. What's happening? We're seeing strongholds coming up. So Carthage has their 7 lords. Carthage does have their 7 lords. Obviously, they. Hang on a minute. We're seeing a stronghold being built. Has he judge upgraded to a citadel, perhaps? Yeah, he's got a judge on the throne, so presumably, yes. He's judge upgraded to a citadel, and he's rebuilding a stronghold, and he now has a turreted elephant coming out of Carfaggio, which I guess, yes, of course, he's actually put
9-turn builds.
He's actually put his king in as governor. Well, bear in mind, once he gets Doctrine up in 3 turns, although he will need a few more civics to actually enact Doctrine, then he'll be able to orders rush that. So he'll probably be
good, because
spending
9 turns is going to be, he'll get one of those out before the game ends.
Yeah, but he will be, I'm sure, order rushing as soon as he can with Doctrine, and just spending a lot of his turns just doing nothing but rushing out turreted elephants, and he can spam some of them out quickly, I'm sure.
Can you imagine trying to stab an elephant with a spear? It does seem like, terror is probably the right description of what that ability would be like, fighting that.
Panic, yeah.
I hope it's a very long, very nasty spear, because that's what Assyria will be fending those elephants off with.
Yeah, hard to do. I guess you need a lot of spears, but yeah.
Again, but Aran preempting this, that forest is now clear between them. He is doing what I wanted to see Siontific doing, which is all of the existing forest tiles are now occupied by his units, so he pushes any scouts out of that. And he's starting to fortify the southern area just by claiming it, just having units there, claiming it, putting some buildings down, pushing those borders out to keep his very well-behaved families. Well, they're not quite as well-behaved now. Did we have a ruler switch when I wasn't looking? No.
Still got
Why
his
has
orator in charge.
Dropped down so much.
The Assyrian paganism is down to 4. I guess it looks like potentially the same character, but yeah, they just don't like him very much.
It's going to be -4 orders for him, as well as a lot of his combat bonuses disappearing, right?
Oh, he switched his state religion is now Judaism. He did actually found Judaism while we weren't paying attention, and he has switched to that. So I guess he's getting not monasteries yet, but presumably he will be getting some.
No, I really like this though. He needs to just there's the disciple. Is it Rush or just it's hard built and he's just got a lot of growth? Because I do want to see that. Yeah. I want to see them monasteries come out to boost his groves, and I want to see him looking to do the second part of the switch, right? So it's his divine rule with polytheism, get shrines, at least 1 shrine per city, so that you get paganism in all the cities for the order boost, and then switch over to a single religion, the monotheism, to get the order boost again for all of your cities being your state religion. And that will give him at least, for his number of cities, at least 12 orders between the 2 of those, right? Like 6 from paganism and 6 from monasticism. Or
there's definitely a lot of longer term potential there. Obviously, he's lost some orders from his
the orator in the short term.
Orator. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong person there. Yeah. In the short term, he's lost orders, but yeah, as you say, he can definitely longer term make that back. Interesting to see the line of ships in the north. Aran's got another ship in the north there, hiding just outside of Sion's vision range. So I guess he knows exactly where Sion can see. He's paying attention to that, and he's just keeping watch over there, keeping a nice little barrage to stop any surprise invasions, I imagine.
Interesting to see the lineups too. So we've got this Orator holding on Assyria's side. He's 70, and he's cursed. But I think he'll probably go in the next 5 to 10 turns roughly. Probably we'll see him gone. So Judge next Judge is next, followed by Commander in that line. It's Judge, Commander, Builder, Zealot. And I just wanted to check, is his line still the same for inheritance? And we should look if he's designated any heirs too. So what I want to know basically is, what are the players thinking right now? If they believe combat's coming up, and you got to think Sion is thinking that, and probably Aran's starting to pay attention to the military build-up, right? And he's got vision, pretty decent vision.
Yeah.
If they're both expecting combat soon, what leader types are they pushing for each of their empires right now?
Well, yes, good question. So, between a judge, a commander, a builder, or a zealot, presumably the zealot would be the best choice for Aran.
Yeah, so when his leader goes ill, or probably more likely severely ill or doomed, it'd be really interesting to watch to see if he designates an heir that is not the normal lineup here. Does he want the judge for the quick upgrading of the citadels? Maybe. Probably not, though. He's already got one citadel out, right? And he's going to be one citadel. Where is it? Maybe he doesn't have it out yet.
I don't think Aran does. Sion does, but
Does he not have 7 laws yet?
He does have 7 laws, yes, but I think he's enacted them fairly recently. I don't see any. Let's just have a quick look at the stats, see how many improvements have been built. Yeah, no citadels for Aran as yet. Okay. Nineveh has just gone strong, so I imagine we're going to see one getting built real soon.
Yeah, so he may not. The judge timing is nice for timing pushes, but if he's on the defensive and is going to have his citadels built before his orator dies anyways, he may not want that judge. It may not do very much for him. He doesn't have any other buildings that are tiered like that, right? Just the citadels.
Yes, he's still quite shy on urban buildings. We see a bit of ship poking in from Aran in the north here. Oh, he is actually going in by the look of it.
Interesting.
We're seeing some attacks.
Weird on the vision here.
It's wild. Am I looking at the wrong person? Possibly I am.
Can't be, right? Because yellow's moving, so you weren't looking at the wrong person. It's just not updating the site correctly.
Okay, yeah, it's better now. Yeah, all right. So that's an aggressive push in, but again, I suppose that's quite nasty with the. Yeah, I don't think Sion can kill any of those ships.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Does he have immobilize on any of his units? He doesn't yet, but could get a promotion here. So I'd like to see Sion take the fortified one that's in the front there, promote it to grappler, and then move a couple, but not all of his archers up that way, right? Because he can at least get one ship back here if he wants to trade 1 for 1 here.
Oh, actually, maybe he can kill the hero leadership if he gets some ranged units to support as well. He's got a slinger there already who could do 3 damage. If he gets an archer up, yeah, he has the mobility. Yeah, he absolutely could take a kill here if he wanted to. He would have to lose his fortification on one of his ships.
Yeah, I wonder if Aran, it's sometimes tough to tell, especially when we can jump back and forth on vision like this. He doesn't have up-to-date vision there, but does he know there's no road to that northern city yet? And no water connection either, right? Or
it doesn't look like Aran knows that. No, he doesn't.
Oh, but there's a water connection. So that's kind of weird because with a water connection there, those archers can instantly bounce up there at almost no order cost. So why? What is the point of this push? What's it doing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you can eliminate the opponent's fleet and secure dominance of the water, then that makes it a lot easier for you to anchor at your leisure and feel much more comfortable in harassing and just generally forcing a response. But yeah, I'm not sure that it's going to work out given the... I mean, if you just have a look at the amount of units stacked up in Hippo Regis now, it's an obscene amount of units here. And yeah,
a lot of them are
archers,
which are free range, which are
absolutely
going to hit that. So I am curious to... I want to know why, and I don't immediately understand why that's happening.
Yeah, someone says he seems like he should have waited for one more ship. Potentially a good attack knowing Grenville might not build any ships. Well, interesting thought. But
he thought he was going to crit. Boats get the Assyrian crit? Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had Focus 2. Maybe he was just hoping that hero was going to crit on that Focus 2 one.
I'm not.
And Focus 2 on the other one, too. He's probably like 3 boats, 2 of them at... does Focus stack? Is it plus 10, plus 15 for plus 25 cumulative? Or is it 10 then 15 being... Okay, so it's 25 on each of them? Okay.
Yep, they're additive. And once you get Focus 3, you're up to 45%.
Yeah. Kind of forgot that it wasn't 10. I forgot it wasn't 10 flat.
So I'm surprised we're not actually seeing any military movements from Sion. He's spending orders on worker movements. I would really hope he's going to actually respond to this, but it doesn't. He's running out of orders to actually get units
Perhaps
up here.
He's AFK while Zenobia runs the Empire, and Zenobia just doesn't care about the water. my current guess.
Oh, wild. He just moved a slinger to a tile and then moved it to another tile. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. That's got to have been a misclick, surely.
No, he's brought one archer. No, he's upgraded the archer. He hasn't even moved an archer. He upgraded one there. I don't understand this play. It's so bizarre when an attack and a response to the attack, neither of them meet the expectations of what you were expecting to see. Like, that's so weird. Like,
It's
what is going on there?
yeah, it's odd to see. Yeah. I mean, the units did attack here. He could bring up another unit to attack if he burns some training. Actually, I'm not sure he even can at this point. But
But he
yeah,
upgraded a slinger there and didn't move an archer. He didn't take immobilize on the ship that's there. Instead, made an attack that didn't kill anything.
has he upgraded the slinger? I'm not seeing any upgrades. The archer for
Oh,
Vest
sorry,
did
that's
attack.
You're right. Yep, no, you're right.
But yeah, and the fortified ship there hasn't attacked. I mean, sure, it would be attacking a tactician, so it would take counter damage, but even so, it feels odd to not. He's bringing a slinger up. Is he going to buy the orders? No.
I hope he doesn't. I mean,
No,
he's so low
done.
in training, right? All right, so Assyria gets away with this poke. Now, this poke hasn't done anything yet, and if he takes another attack here, his ship stays there. So I guess maybe he can back off the two slightly wounded ones and take the hit with the last one and hope it's going to survive, but I don't think it does. So he's just happy to trade 1-for-1 boats here?
Odd. Yeah, I mean,
Very
honestly, it doesn't seem like, even if Assyria gets a couple of kills here, it doesn't seem like it's going to end very well for them.
No, it doesn't. But it depends what. But because of that, because it seems so, even on the first order look at it, it seems so bad of an attack. Why?
I mean,
they're both good players. Why has he done it?
It'd be quite nice as a distraction if he was using that
Yeah,
to
exactly right. But I don't
move
see
in the
movement to
south.
correspond with that.
Yeah, we're not seeing that yet. There is another ship in the north. Yeah, there's another ship sitting at Mardaman that could come in and help as well. In fact, there's another ship at Nineveh. So
He's
there's
trying to buy time. Can you see any
more
Bodkin
ships.
arrows anywhere? He doesn't have the tech yet, right? Let me just switch back real
Yeah,
quick.
neither of them have Bodkin arrow yet, surely.
It's one tech away for Sion. So no, it's not like he's seeing Bodkin arrow and wants to make him Sion spend orders moving north and dealing with ship stuff as opposed to walking across with strength 8 archers. So it's not that. So what's again? I don't know quite know what's going why they do that. Because I agree, diversion, buy time, pick some units if they can get units, but none of those things occurred. I think he was just fishing for the crit. That's my best guess.
Well, he's taking the kill on that injured ship. It'll be
Yep,
interesting
with
to
the
see what
one
he
that I
does.
predicted, right?
Oh, right, yeah, and there's more people coming in.
Just the one? Is he gonna force march some stuff? Does he have more boats? Like, I mean, I guess this one in Nineveh could, like, with a force march, could get almost up there, like 2 turns out, maybe.
All right,
Did
so,
back the other one, the hero
yeah,
up.
so that's
Didn't have to go all the way back there, interestingly, because it is a hero. Could have healed a little bit closer if he wanted.
yes, that feels like an error, I think, because there's no way Sion's advancing ships to kill. Or there's no way that's a good idea, at least, anyway.
What to say?
So we've still got the tactician who hasn't attacked. He is going to eat a full counter-attack from the fortified ships if he does attack there.
And let's look at this damage here. If he moves out, I mean, his Sion's boats are really not doing all that much. 4 and 5 on that. And what's the arrows? The bows are going to do 2. So at the moment, the wounded Byrene, the one that did the attack, isn't going to die. So he doesn't need to attack into this fortified boat with this tactician. Now he might want to, because he might actually be trying to do something with numerical advantage of boats up there, but I don't know what he's going to accomplish. Right? Maybe he just gets to, if he kills all the boats, maybe he gets to pillage the dies. Maybe that's the thought process.
Yeah, I
Maybe he's just
mean,
bored.
he maybe was just trying to entertain the stream. Seems quite reasonable, but yeah, I mean, being able to pillage all the sea resources at leisure would be a good get. Although, of course, he does still have to contend with the ranged units, which, to be fair, Aran doesn't have very good vision on, so maybe he doesn't realise quite how many ranged units Sion has.
Yeah. And there's that. I mean, they're unpromoted archers are not super strong versus boats, right? Just because the land to sea penalty is pretty high.
But I mean,
it is going to add up.
Like 2 ships and 2 ranged units could still kill that injured tactician ship.
Yeah.
So it's not like he doesn't have kill potential. So we're seeing rams moving down to the south.
Yeah,
so there
that
is
too. So maybe it is the distraction. Maybe it's just delayed.
Yeah, there is some military movement happening here. It looks like quite a lot of military movement, in fact.
And interestingly, by the way, the new updated, I think these are updated. I don't remember them in the past, right? The countdown on the scout is so good. with the 3
Yes,
years in yellow like
yes.
that. So good. Such a nice change. If that was a change, if it wasn't a change and I just noticed it, it's good regardless. But this scout has 3 years before it gets kicked out of there. And maybe he's distracted. He may lose the scout right as those rams end up coming through.
Yeah,
which
he
would
may
be,
do, and even if he isn't, he'll have to move the scout. There's nowhere to hide it. All the forest is gone, been chopped,
yeah.
and Aran is occupying every other single bit of forest. Actually, that's not quite true. He doesn't have a military unit on the forest in the middle there by the mangrove forest, so he could put it there. But it's not great vision for him there.
And as Soren points out, maybe Aran has maybe this is multiple levels down now. Maybe Aran has somehow noticed that Zenobia is the one in charge of Siontific's military building right now, and maybe he knows something about boat building from Zenobia that I didn't. Maybe
Yeah,
Zenobia doesn't
he's
build
not.
boats, as Soren says.
Yeah, they can I'm sure build boats, but I'm pretty sure at one point Grand Viziers were spamming out ships pointlessly, so that may well have been nerfed down, so they don't do it so much. So yeah, Aran is not attacking with his tactician ship. I think that, oh my word, we've got a tsunami. That's a horrible time to get a tsunami. HP damage on the...
It's everybody there. That's interesting.
That damage tactician has just taken 8 damage.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it favors Siontific this turn. Although
absolutely,
granted,
it does.
He's the one taking all the sea damage over there. He's got some resources pillaged and a bunch of units wounded down south a bit. But in this little in the theater of the West here, that certainly favored him, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's a horrible bit of pillaging. Yes, a lot of units are taking damage, but yeah, he could just heal his ships and get some more archers up. I really want to see some more archers coming up because he could really be plinking these ships. Like he could kill that tactician with just archers. I'm reasonably confident. He gets 3 archers on the case. Must be able to do a couple of damage each with archers further back.
We're gonna see. I do feel like tsunamis have the worst timing. The worst timing.
Yeah, it's interesting because quite often they will just do nothing at all. But yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. I have one in one of my multiplayer games where I think I got 30 units hit by it.
Yep, so we have seen a ship get killed just by ranged units, so yeah, he can just heal his 2 ships. I think this is a failed assault from Aran, but again, if it's just a distraction, then maybe it's serving its purpose.
Yeah, it gives him some information. He wasn't clearly going to be able to predict the tsunami. Not without better religion anyways.
So he's taking... He's not healing ships, he's taking attack. He just needs one more archer standing on the...
There's the tile, the marble
tile.
Right?
Yeah, he absolutely could get a kill there, I'm sure. He might have to force march for it, but it's got to be worth it. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
I mean, it's only 2-1 boat loss, so it's not super devastating. But if you're trying to capitalize on a small boat advantage to get a bigger boat advantage, certainly you don't want to trade down.
Yeah. I mean, that tsunami was a bit of bad luck for Aran, but it wasn't a great attack anyway, I think. And yeah, not sure either side really care that much. I can't see this fight being decided by a naval invasion. I suspect it's much more likely we're going to see an invasion either in the middle or in the north up here.
See, I kind of disagree with that assessment. Not necessarily that there won't be an invasion north, but I do actually think if one side either manages boat superiority or doesn't respond quickly to a couple anchors coming down, I think a change of location could actually do a lot for breaking the map open a bit. Water movement is very powerful in this game. It's so order efficient to move across water in a way that is not across land.
Yeah, but I mean that is a benefit for the defender as well. Everywhere within the territory here, you can move to very quickly.
If you have naval superiority, because then you can do things like drop boats in the line of where the resupply comes to prevent that happening. I think we saw that in some of the other tournament matches. Although, granted, this map doesn't seem good for that, but.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. You could potentially block some movement, and there is a disconnect between north and south. To be fair, Siontific doesn't have very quick movement between his north and his south. He does have some roads here, but yeah, he can't take advantage of water movement to go all the way around there. So he does need to keep armies in both locations. Maybe it's going to be relevant. I don't see it this map. Honestly, I think a land fight is going to be much more likely, and we're just going to see ships harassing. But we'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
I could well be wrong.
I mean, again, he's got...
Oh, wow, Aran's moving in again.
up top.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's taking another kill. Bold.
It is bold. I wonder why.
I mean, he
And more
can.
biremes out of his champ seat. Maybe he just decided he has more military production on the water.
Yeah,
He's willing to trade down for this. I'm really.
looks like it. But yeah, I mean, the timing does seem a little bit off. He could have waited a few turns and come in with a lot more ships. Still in a hurricane. Yep.
Yeah, it's so many range units out of Sion here, and
Yeah.
then I mean it's very even with a land bridge. Even if he bridges across this gap up north there, there's not a lot of land tiles. He can literally just put a unit on 5 different tiles or 6 tiles or whatever and block like 3 ships worth of anchoring.
Yeah, exactly. It is, especially when you've got a limited surface area to actually land on. It is quite easy to block naval invasions just by putting units there. So, is the hero doomed? Is the hero doomed? You mean the hero on the ship? I guess. I mean that ship is dead for sure. Can easily be killed just by ranged units. Yeah. There's a lot
Other
of
things
trading
going on here. Is
on
there
there.
like is he trying to is one of these leaders one of his like heirs or something? Could there possibly be like I mean the Duke just got attached like the second in line just got attached to the back boat, like the one that's reinforcing
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
the
Could this
commander.
be like farming for traits? You know.
Maybe. It'd be interesting to see how is the King of Assyria doing. He is 72, but he's still healthy, so he's not immediately about to die. So it'd be
I'm
interesting
expecting.
if he does change heir to make this commander the next leader, and suddenly pops out with a commander doing extra flanking damage. Not maybe super relevant at the moment. But
I'm expecting him to skip that commander personally, but we'll see. I mean, he does have a lot of infantry. Maybe he will like the commander right now. But I could very easily see him skipping down to his the 21-year-old zealot.
yeah, that's gonna really suck having all of those people hating you because you bypassed them. I mean, they're already
Yeah,
pretty unhappy, most of them. But
yeah,
yeah,
they're all in their like late 40s though, mid to late 40s. So they might not be around for all that much longer. But yes, we did see the. Meanwhile, that zealot get attached to a spear down south. That scout that we'll see if Sion's paying any attention to it is down to 1 year of hiding.
ooh, yep. Not long to save that. Yeah, someone points out he could still kill the last ship. I mean, I think Assyria definitely. Oh well, he can't kill that last ship now.
Yeah, hidden the city.
Yeah, I think that's a sensible move from Sion. You might as well preserve at least a ship for later and not throw it away when you've got these ranged units who can do damage. It'd be interesting to see if we get any amphibious promotions from Aran on his ships. None as yet, but yeah, they could start doing quite a bit of damage if they do get amphibious, whereas they're not really doing very much at the moment to land units.
What was that then in terms of ship losses? We've seen 2 down from Sion, and is it only 2 from Aran or 3 now?
Yeah, so Sion had 3 ships there and he's lost 2, so that makes sense too. And yeah, I believe 2
Yeah, I think it's 2 for 2 right now. I think. Which
might.
is surprisingly a much better outcome than I would have expected from that attack. But then again, I'm not in this bracket of the tournament, so maybe they know something I do not.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we saw any crits there on those attacks. I didn't notice any.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the northern tip of Aran's land over there, he has placed a bunch of units on that city, maybe to block the tiles in case he loses this, but more likely because he's looking to anchor, right? And those units are there to flow into that spot. I don't know why, but that's
maybe.
what that positioning suggests.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think he. I mean, it maybe he just had units there from earlier when there was a threat of potential people landing, or he's just built units there and they've just stayed there. I can't imagine he's worried about a naval invasion from Sion at this point.
Yeah.
Let's see what else Sion's got left. He's got no orders left in the tank.
It's so weird. Like he's just hit his 7. This being Aran, he's hit his 7 laws. He's got a couple of his unique units out, but he hasn't started. Or he's building a citadel, but he's spamming boats out of his primary military city. So, he may just have decided that I have more naval production than my opponent does, or maybe he understands Zenobia in some way that we don't, and that he's gonna take the C and then try to open up something from there.
Well, we're not seeing any more Byrene production. We've got a couple of empty queues at the moment. He's just built a ship in Arpad, but I think that leaves them with 4 ships total on the map, spread out quite heavily over the map. So unless he
that one in
builds
Arpad was there already.
ships,
That was an elephant out of Arpad, and it was this turn he just finished the one in Nineveh. That's been spamming 1-turn biremes for the last couple turns, or 1 or 2-turn biremes. So yeah, well, it will be telling to see where that production gets assigned this turn in his champion cap.
52 training a turn in the champion cap is certainly nothing to sniff at.
Nope.
I guess the question is just, is it worth investing more in naval superiority at this point, and what are you going to do with it once you have it?
I also echo that sentiment. I don't know what the thought is, but it does seem like he's decided for some reason that that's what he wants to do right now. It could just be literally a placeholder till he's ready to build his 8 strength UUs as the Citadel comes up, or it might be for a more long-term plan of he wants to either control the seas, pillage all these resources, or even have the ability to attack north, not through the center there.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't seem like a good spot. It's very, very choke.
There's certainly a nice synergy with his rams and towers, because of course they move slowly, but they can move very quickly over sea. So perhaps he's thinking, okay, I'm just going to clear out the sea here, make sure I have naval superiority, then maybe do a massive anchor chain all the way around the edge of the map and just land straight into Carthago. Like with another 3 or 4 boats, that is certainly a possibility. Sion could still block all these tiles from landing, but it would take a lot more units. I mean, Sion has the units to block that entire coastline. But I guess if Aran went all in and just anchored all the way around the entire continent, then Sion probably can't block everywhere. So maybe.
Boats coming back. It's interesting too. That commander hates his leader so much that I'm pretty sure that those combat bonuses are in the negative as a net for that commander on the boat.
Oh wow, yeah. So he's getting 10% for friendly family and minus 10% from the commander.
And then also the commander itself is bitter and has minus 4 charisma, which is the defense stat, right? So it's in addition to the standing, it's also the stats and also the family, right?
It's interesting, it's exactly balancing out. So he's getting minus 12 attack from his charisma and plus 12 attack from his courage.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. Charisma's not attack, right? It's defense.
I believe if it's negative, well, certainly in this case, negative 4 charisma is giving him minus 12 attack strength. Yeah, I think positive charisma gives you defense. I'm not quite sure why negative charisma is giving him negative attack in that case, but that seems to be what is happening here.
I'm pretty sure courage is the stat used when making an attack, and charisma is the stat used for modifying defense when you're being attacked, I think.
Yeah, but if you look at the Duke's tooltip, it does show that minus 4 charisma is giving minus 12% attack.
Huh. So you think it might be in addition some way when you're negative charisma, you also get an attack penalty?
I think he's getting an attack penalty, but not a defense penalty. I think negative charisma gives you an attack penalty, whereas positive charisma gives you a defense bonus, which
I feel like I ought to know this, but I don't, I guess.
It's a bit strange. I'm not quite sure. Soren says every negative attacks affects attack and defense. Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm not sure I did either. It doesn't seem to be exactly what the tooltip's saying, because it's saying
that scout did not move.
Attack.
That is a visible scout.
Oh, rough.
And whose turn is it right now?
It is Sion's turn, so he has the opportunity to move it. But
does he know it's invisible? He didn't move it last turn. I bet you he doesn't know.
He does get a little notification icon if he's paying attention. Unit now visible, but you do need to be paying attention to your notification icons if you're going to see that.
I do like the forced march, chop the forest, clear out that little eyeball spot.
See, we adopted orthodoxy, so possibly order rushing. Yeah, he has order rushed a turreted elephant and then started another turreted elephant, and
nice.
I guess he's only order rushed once, and he's rushed with something else perhaps, but yeah, he's got volunteers as well. He's rushing with citizens too.
He's got a 0 orders, so I guess that scout's not going anywhere.
I would imagine he citizen rushed the turreted elephant that was already had some production on it, and then order rushed a new turreted elephant. So there's 2 new turreted elephants coming out in the next 2 turns. But yes, he did not move the scout. The scout
Bye-bye,
is
Scout.
dead.
Yep. And surprisingly, sometimes that's impactful, sometimes it's not. It can be a pain to rebuild a scout out of like a late game city if you don't have good growth where you built all your scouts out of one city before, but sometimes it's really easy to replace. And that middle area is looking pretty deforested anyways. So it really won't hurt him again until he needs agent networks.
Well, that will be interesting to see if Zenobia feels like building a scout.
Yeah, that will be. I doubt it though. I mean, it shares the same class as boats, right?
I guess they're exploring units technically.
Yep. Zenobia
But
is not an explorer.
yeah, they're not quite the same because obviously boats have military applicability as well. I'm not sure.
She just wants zero. I think she just wants 0 units in the spyglass category.
She just wants zero vision. What
Yeah,
I can't see won't hurt me.
that's right.
That's her
Sounds
point
like
of
a
view.
Grand Vizier kind of strategy.
She is now friendly. She absolutely loves him. Got her up to plus 200. So yeah, we can actually see the yields now. Yeah, we're getting plus 2 growth as the governor in all the cities where she's governing.
Ooh. I thought. Because she's at 200 probably, and it's what
Yeah.
100 for one.
Plus 1 at 100. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So just a recap. I've not really been paying attention to the tech. Sion is finally getting machinery. He is picking up onagers. He's got mana. I guess he probably doesn't have access to Bodkin this turn, but probably will get it as soon as he can. But is going towards. I mean, he might just be going towards crossbows. To be honest, if he gets machinery, he only needs hydraulics, and then he's up to windlass. So crossbows would be amazing.
He's built a scout and parked it on the ore, but the ore needs to be harvested again. Do you think it's going to happen?
Come on, Sion. I can't believe he's harvesting ore at turn 93. That is crazy. I'd be interested
Solver
to see
pointed it out that science bonus apparently either scales or builds up or something. So if he hasn't hit it yet, it's going to be a chunk of science. I'm quite curious if we do spot it, how much it will be.
Yeah.
Is it game changing enough that not having an ore online for however many turns this has been is worth it?
Yeah, I've not really been tracking the events too closely, but yeah, it will definitely be interesting to see if he does get that. What the bonus is. I can't imagine it would be worth it, but we'll.
No, I know. And
we'll
also not having that ore upgraded means he could have water movement around that tip with that ore upgraded, right? And he doesn't in part because he's chosen to do this. So I want to see the payoff that he's sacrificed so much for.
Yeah. Okay, so we did get the. Is it the museum has just finished? Yes, the museum is finished. So he's got 6 legitimacy. It's getting him 10 science at the moment, which is, I mean, it's not a huge amount, but he had very low science anyway, so that's still a 15% uptick on what he had before.
Monastery will finish next turn, which will modify the grove as well as providing its own science. So it's going to be another, 3 or 4 probably.
Yeah,
4 probably.
Nice. And we're getting Citadel in 2 turns in Jerwin and 4 turns in Nineveh. So
Harriet, unexpected.
Siege towers are coming. I think a little bit of routing potential, even though chariots aren't the best for it. I think it's definitely worth having some routing potential at least.
Yep, makes a lot of sense actually. As I was commenting on that earlier this session, right? Which is you want to have at least 1 routing unit somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. They are so good for maximizing your damage and clearing up a lot of units, which Sion has a lot of bodies. Some of them aren't that strong, but there are just a lot of people around here. Interestingly, there are.
And I gotta say, it makes some sense, right? What he's doing is he's stalling. Production is capital. He doesn't want to start producing. He doesn't want to build more siege engines because he doesn't have the iron and the training to upgrade large amounts of siege engines, right? That's his limiting factor.
So he has iron is quite low. Training is
100
not amazing either, although he's got a pretty good training income to be fair, but he won't be able to immediately upgrade them all, that's for sure.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing a couple things are pushing in this direction because it's his biggest military production location by a lot, and it's surprising to me that it's not churning out a unique unit that he doesn't have access to everywhere. But I suppose from his point of view, he doesn't have enough to upgrade the smaller ones, and he needs a couple routing units along the way, so he might as well just spend the production elsewhere. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I wonder how many. Yeah, he has got. I was going to say it might be nice to build spears, but he has got a lot of spears already, so yeah, he's probably fine for that. But we're seeing some slinger upgrades to archers. So yeah, that implies to me he's thinking about going in real soon, because if he wasn't, he'd wait until a better tech to upgrade those slingers to. But yeah.
Man, it's weird though, because he just dumped all of his training in those upgrades, right? And it is nice to have archers as opposed to slingers, but it means your rams aren't going to be upgraded. Your battering rams are not going to be the 8 strength ones.
Yeah, that is a choice, certainly.
Yeah.
He's quite limited by his training now at the moment.
I'm going to just step away for half a second, Fluffy. Be right back.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, interestingly, Aran had to retreat his scout, the same kind of thing. Obviously, he's got pushed out of the forest he was sitting in and has had to move around. So Aran has had to force match his scout back now, so he doesn't have the vision that he used to. Sion is still having to repair all of these improvements that he lost in the tsunami a few turns ago. We're seeing some movement up. Turreted elephants coming into Hippo Regis to help defend. Big battle is starting to shape up. Yeah, we're getting there. I think it's going to be a few turns yet, unless Sion decides he wants to push in. He has upgrading some turreted elephants. He has run out of training now, so he won't be able to upgrade anymore. But yeah, we're seeing more turreted elephants getting pushed out. Maybe Sion is going to push in with turreted elephants and onagers, perhaps. How far away is he from Bodkin? Yeah, he's still only one tech away from Bodkin. I've got to imagine we're going to wait for Bodkin and see a mass upgrade of archers into longbows. A longbow and turreted elephant push would be very nice, but he is still quite a few turns away from that. So I don't think, unless he's going to... Wow, we are seeing some advancing here. Maybe Sion is not going to wait. Maybe he's just going to push straight in. It's looking very aggressive here. Let's see what the military graph looks like. I haven't been paying too much attention to that recently. Sion has a small advantage, but really it's we're talking 15% more military units. Given the total number of units sitting around here, it's not really that much. Silver says all science is 40 plus 10 per city with 50% inflation. 6 cities, so yeah, a little bit more, but yeah, maybe 150 science. Yeah, not ridiculous amount. I mean, it's not a lot more than he's getting every term.
Has built up now. I mean, that's looking at the graph for that, it's 1,300 difference in science across the course of the game now. And what are these techs costing? Machinery's 400. What's Bodkin? You said 1,000?
Yeah, I believe so.
So it is the difference between 1.5 Bodkin techs at this stage of the game that they have developed.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
So I don't know if you caught that. Solver was just working out exactly how much science that would be worth for Sion. He reckons about 135. Maybe a little bit more, but
oh, that's not that much at all. Then
it's just over a turn's worth of science. Doesn't really seem worth it. No, I think Sion has these interesting ideas, and he gets a little bit carried away with the the meme plays and trying to be clever, which it's cool.
Right there, that's quite the statement.
It can work out really well, but I think sometimes you can get a little bit bogged down in your plans and not adapting enough to the state of the game and what would actually be more beneficial in the moment.
Yeah. I just liked the implication of that.
Yeah,
way of saying that.
Fair enough. That was perhaps a little bit overly critical, but yeah.
No, not at all. I think it's fine to have strong opinions about someone's play. I agree. It's a bizarre. It's a bizarre idea over there. Like how many turns that? Anyways, we don't need to do all in the ore, I suppose.
No.
So what we're seeing more shrines. So the military shrine going up in all the cities. This shrine of Nerda. Seeing that all across the Syria's empire. That's the polytheism paying off right now, right? With all the shrines per city.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice. He's got. I'm just looking at his wood rate. He's got 111 wood coming in per turn now with a massive stockpile.
He's had more lumber. He chopped less of his own woods and has taken preserved that, and he got it online earlier. And then presumably is planning to do something with this. I mean, his siege engines are very expensive, 100, right?
We have seen an abdication.
Hey, what did he abdicate for? Was it for the governor, or who was just the regular line?
A little bit confused by that. The tooltip says he's abdicated, but he's also dead from assassination. So not quite sure what happened there. Yeah, all right. But anyway, we have the judge the 51-year-old judge in charge now. Ooh, who is unpopular, insane. I wonder if the judge, was there an event where he went insane and killed favored
Oh, that could
one?
be.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
might work in his favor though. If you look at this, next in line is that zealot. So now a single abdicate will get rid of this judge. Maybe after he's just used it for a turn or two to upgrade the existing buildings he has, and then switches in something else. It's not unreasonable.
yeah.
That judge
So,
with 10 courage is a really really sick governor of Nineveh too, right?
oh right, yeah, yeah. That's true. Insane can actually be an advantage, of course, because it gives you a couple of training there. But yeah,
Not a
just
couple. I mean, the base on this thing is already pretty good. What is this? 16, 21, 25 base right now. It summed it for me. So,
right.
another,
But
and what it,
I just meant the insane trait actually gives you 2 more courage, so it's adding to
yes,
that
yes,
10
yeah.
total.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an event where the judge went insane and murdered the current leader and another member of the family and took over.
Honestly, like I get into the same problem that I think Aaron was experiencing there, which is a very old leader tends to have a lot of stats, but I think he probably didn't really want an orator anymore at this point, Like it would have been nice to have something else a little while ago, especially an orator with no science coming
Yep,
out of him.
yep,
So,
fair enough. The orator was giving him certainly a few orders, but actually, I guess his family opinion has crashed because of the new ruler. But his family opinion is looking pretty dire at the moment. He's got 2 upset
yeah.
families and 1 barely cautious.
I mean, it's only 10 legitimacy to abdicate here, right? That is the extent of that cost at the moment. I'm kind of expecting this judge to be on the throne for a very short period of time. Abdicate him, get your zealot in, stick this judge in as a governor, which he can do as a judge. He doesn't have to be leader, governor of Nineveh, and just move on with your empire.
Yep, makes sense. Certainly be a play. Interesting. Yeah, so Sion, while we were away, Sion has been moving units up, so he's occupying a few more of the forts that he wasn't before. I'm thinking maybe Sion is not going to wait for longbows at this
Bodkin.
point. Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder if that is going to be like a partial thing just because of his resources. Let me go look at his resources. So he's sitting on 500 wood. And what's the cost of a bodkin arrow? It's been a while since I built one of these.
200 wood for a longbow, I believe.
150.
150,
150.
okay.
Yeah, so he's only got 3 upgrades, maybe by the time he has it, maybe 4 or 5. And he's got a lot more than 5 archer units. So I could see him starting now and just upgrading some of the back ones by the time that happens. Getting his position secured for that. The timing is rapidly like that much of an impact of the timing of that.
Yeah, I could see, honestly, I could see machinery coming out next turn. He could start order rushing onagers out of a few different cities. He might have to put a governor in a couple more cities, but I could see some onagers order rushed getting in the forts and then help them supporting another push forwards.
God, he's just taken the free longbow as his tech over the tech for longbows. I guess it's 2 free longbows.
Yuck. I mean, yeah, it's 2 units. He's going to get it a lot quicker than Bodkin, which is, I guess, 9 turns at this point. But questionable.
I mean, I agree. I don't think I'd have chosen that personally, but
I mean, I think
Simon,
again it implies to me he's planning on pushing soon,
yes,
sooner than he can get Bodkin Arrow.
and he certainly is a player who values the short-term bonuses over the long-term regularly, right? Like we've seen
Yeah,
this in a lot of different aspects of his play. So this is another one where that 8 turns to have access to that permanently with all your existing things, or 3 turns plus 2 more techs to get back to it, right? Because he can't get that again next time. So it's going to be quite a while to get access to it otherwise. But he wants the longbows.
right. Science just paused and messaged saying he's got a graphical bug, so yeah, he's going to have to rehost the game, unfortunately. So
Okay.
we might just have a interruption while he does that.
I mean, a pretty decent pace for the play of this, honestly. Turn 95, they're jumping the turns back and forth pretty rapidly. I mean, not a lot of action either, so they don't have to take full turns thinking. There's been a lot
Yes.
of progress this game, even though it's been a build-up stage of this particular game.
Yeah, things have definitely progressed, and it looks like we are coming towards a battle at this point. I do think Thine is going to push in. What's the play for Assyria? They're 5
I
turns
assume
away
this is
from
going to be
doctrine.
nefarious Mohawk stuff right now, where this session will end on a cliffhanger.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I think we were playing for 3 hours. We're at 2.5 hours now. Yeah, they're just players are chatting about the best thing to do about it. Christmas tree. Well, there's a big tree in the middle of my empire. Yep. Unfortunate.
Oh, I've seen. I know what he's talking about. Actually, I had
Yes.
got a friend involved in it. I've seen that graphical error before on his
Yes.
screen.
Yeah, we are aware of this error. We are working on it, but it's a big graphical rework to actually fix that. So it's taking a little bit of time, unfortunately. But we should hopefully have that fixed at some point in the not too distant future. But
Cool.
it has been a long-standing issue.
Yeah, I gotta say, if there's one thing I can't complain about with Mohawk as a user of your product, is you guys are very responsive to patches. It's been excellent to see over the years just how much gets changed and how often and how quickly things get fixed. So,
Yeah,
not
thank you. We
concerned about
certainly
it.
try.
Yeah, it's been good. So what are they doing here? They're talking about deciding between them if they want to continue or call it here kind of deal.
Yeah, we're talking about rehosting or not. Yeah. So they're just thinking about what's going on. Let's just have a look. Someone's saying interesting that Aran Sion is building a road west.
Yep, the two workers out last turn. The one in his own territory makes total sense to me. I'm not so sure about the one outside, but perhaps even if he just ends it there, I could see that reasonable. Don't let the other player connect, but still have access to your movement out is kind of nice. Right, roads in your territory benefit you, but don't benefit the opponent, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, I would think it would have made more sense to go one tile north and yeah, build out from his territory more. I'm not quite
Yeah,
sure.
for sure he wants in his own territory. Well, as long as it's not on a river, he's not getting that movement from somewhere else already, which most of those tiles aren't. But I can see even poking out one tile like that, as long as you don't connect them. Although your opponent will connect them sooner or later, right?
Yeah. All right. So the timers are on pause. They're going to play on. Sion is going to manfully struggle through his graphical issue, and yeah, let's play on.
All right. I mean, again, if we look at Sion as a very here and now kind of player right now, I can see that he's about to attack. He doesn't want to end the session right now. Makes sense to me.
I mean, I guess he would wait for 3 longbows at this point. It'd be interesting to see if he does build any onagers. Maybe he's not thinking that route. He has just got the
Remember, he
tech for
doesn't
it.
make those decisions.
Well, he does in a couple of his cities at least. He's got a couple of governors up. 3 governors. He's got 3 cities with governors in. He
So
doesn't
maybe he
have
doesn't ask Zenobia's permission to use his units. That would be good.
He doesn't have the civics to assign anymore, so he is stuck with what he's got for the moment. Both players, in fact, are very civics poor at the moment. I mean, Aran has burnt a lot recently getting his laws up to date.
Yeah, it is possible they are better at reading the demos than we are, even as the observers here with full information. Because a couple of those plays don't make total sense to me. Like Aaron choosing to upgrade all of these bows over saving any resources. I mean, he's making a lot. I take that back. He's making 300 training per turn. He doesn't care about with that leader swap. He doesn't really care about saving training right now.
Speaking of that, another leader swap has just happened. We now have Zealot in charge.
Did he abdicate for it?
Yeah. He did via an event. It still cost him 10 legitimacy, but yes, he has abdicated into a 25-year-old Swift Zealot. Ooh.
Also with 9 courage.
9 courage and 5 fatigue now on all his units, thanks to Swift and Zealot. That's horrifying.
I want to. Where is the candidates with Jaws? Where's the insane judge? Where did he go? I don't see him in the list of people who could govern Nineveh.
I would guess he's governing Arpad. I guess he's just been assigned to govern Arpad, probably.
Okay, so different. Okay, I don't know. I mean, that is an 84% boost and an outcome, and that's not in his largest. I mean, how much is the difference in base off those two? Nineveh is making 25, and Arpad is making 16. I mean, that's 9 difference base that gets almost doubled. Why has he chosen the southern city, do you think, as opposed to that? Is it for boat timing?
Well,
is he trying to do a timing push here?
Arguably, you could say that 52 training is enough. I mean, he can 3-turn siege towers, whereas it would be nice to get some training out of Arpad as well. Yeah, he can get pretty quick units out here too. So at some point, there's less benefit to stacking training. You know,
that's an interesting take on that. I don't know that. I think if you think about the way, I mean, 3 turns is still 3 turns. It's not 1 turn. Like I think you can get to a point where you can't literally make a faster unit per turn than you're doing, and I could see that. But otherwise, it's a percent multiplier. So the largest raw is the most total output. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I follow your logic of why we would want this. He's not 1 turning out of his cap or out of that cap.
No, but I mean, I guess like if he got, it's how much is the benefit? Say it was like 100%, right?
It is. It's 84% right now.
84%. Okay, so he'd be boosting. He'd be getting 25 more training, so he'd be up to 77. So that is a little bit off 2-turning a siege tower, I guess, with overflow, who would be mostly 2-turning siege towers. So yeah, he would be speeding up most of his siege towers by 1 turn. Whereas I guess in RPAD, that same bonus is 16 training, so it would be like 28 without it. So say he wants to build, I don't know, War Elephant out of RPAD. He's turned a 4-turn War Elephant into a 3 and with some overflow 2-turn War Elephants there. So
See,
if you talk about if you talk about turns to produce, then I think it's maybe a bit of a wash, but maybe you come out a little bit ahead by assigning it in RPAD.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that you can come out ahead from a raw multiplied by a percentage and come out ahead in a smaller raw. So I think you're right. And here's actually what I think the real reason here is. You just seen the Byreem queued in RPAD?
So I did. I also saw an archer attack, interestingly. Harassing. But anyway, sorry, go on.
The logic behind this, which I like, is you pointed out elephants. This is the only city of his is able to make elephants. So if he needed more of that unit, I could see the modifier being better used here, even though it's less efficient overall. Or the other thing is boats really close to the south, right?
Right.
And I think that's what the play is coming out here. So he wants as quick as possible getting Byreems out south. He doesn't want to have to move them from that champion seat, which is like a 4-turn move maybe, and all the orders to do that. And suddenly that explains why that's come in here. So that makes more sense, at least to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly another advantage, is that having units in the right position is better than having them out of position. We have seen the leader has been assigned to the chariot, so we now have a 6.5 strength chariot who can enlist if he gets more civics, and also
That's interesting. Would you have done that? With 92 civics and 50 a turn, I might have considered using my leader as the governor to his champion seat until he's up to closer to 400 civics. I know it costs another 100 to do that, but again, it's a huge multiplier. It's another 9 strength governor, or 9 courage governor.
I mean, yes, I guess it depends if Aran is planning on actually going in and attacking. Obviously, if he is attacking, he wants his best people on his units. The archer might just be an harass, or it might be the start of a full offensive down here. So, yeah, I guess if Aran is going in, I think that's a reasonable move. I think if Aran's hanging back and not immediately attacking, then yeah, he probably would be better trying to get him in as a governor.
Yeah, I don't like the zealot on the chariot at all. In fact, when I look at this, I guess the upside is a unit that attacks multiple times per turn, like a routing unit, gets the upside of a high modifier to its attack value, right?
Yeah, you can use it multiple times, indeed.
Yeah, that's the upside of this play of having it there. The downside is chariots die the turn after they attack, pretty much every single time they attack. And the zealot isn't going to protect that. There's still a very squishy unit that is going to be in the front line and end up in the most exposed spot. So that's one. And two, it's one of his weaker units by combat strength on the field, right? Like it's kind of an older tech compared to like a camel archer or a bow with 3 upgrades over there kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
So, and he must be thinking he's going to get the route value out of it. It's the only thing that makes any sense for that particular unit on that particular location. I suppose the last thing might be the chariot's really mobile, so you can enlist from downtown where he can't see the chariot and it pops out of fog and gives him an enlist on something important. But it's hard to. I'm not sure I like it as that particular unit.
Yeah.
When you put zealots, where do you put him?
They are great generals. If you're going to be fighting, having a zealot, I mean, yes, there is maybe a little bit less value, as you say, on the chariot, in the fact that it will die quickly and it's hard to actually protect. But yeah, you are multiplying that attack benefit across every attack you take when you're out. So, I mean, I don't hate it for that perspective. It would have been obviously much better on a a stronger unit,
That's what I was
much
wondering. Would you put it on a
more
ranged
strength.
unit here with the idea of trying to keep it on the field and able to enlist every turn? Your opponent can't see your civics, so the threat of a zealot on an archer threatens to steal a unit every turn, whether or not you actually can. You know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'd just like to point out that the movement range on this 5 fatigue
Sure, yeah,
4
it's
movement
pretty high.
chariot,
Yeah.
you can literally without even marching get him right into Carthage's back lines. That's insane. Love to see it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like there is that's the other because again, I'm trying to understand the player's reasoning just from watching their behavior, right? So of all the benefits of the zealot, that's the number one reason I can think why you would put it on the chariot is that you want the from downtown, like out of the fog, up comes a zealot. You know, if Sion's not paying attention, he may not even notice that Aran's leader has swapped over to a zealot from that long-term orator of the judge in between, right? So he may
Yep,
not even be tracking on the fact that enlist is available. And right
certainly
now,
possible.
yeah, and right now the list isn't super good, except versus the 8 strength elephants, which are actually very good to enlist. Although they probably die after enlist anyways, but still a powerful unit to grab.
Well, I mean, would they? I guess is the question. I guess Sion has a few camel archers. He doesn't have any spears, so he will struggle to effectively kill an 8 strength mounted unit too
Yeah,
well.
for sure. You know, the other thing he could have done, which would have been interesting, is but again, boat combat is super swingy, and he's trying to do something with boats down here with these biremes, right? Like
Hmm.
that's why he's swapped this particular governor to this particular location, is now building boats because he wants to bridge across, and he has to win the naval battle for that. There's some logic for having the zealot on a boat just to multiply your boat forces in a way that you just totally outnumber them.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Yeah, so there's ships coming out down here. There's one ship in the north plus a couple more at Mardaman. So yeah, so I'm saying we could see Aran anchor in the north and the south, and that would be
Yep.
psychologically a little bit scary. Again, I think he will struggle to actually push in doing that.
I think he will too. And I think in part because there hasn't been enough combat recently. I think this would be a stronger play if the players had been trading along this time. And because what happens in this game is your orders are much more limited at a certain point in the game than your production is. So if you aren't trading, what ends up happening is you have more units than you could possibly move in any given turn. So nothing is really going to happen on the way this board's going to change until players have a lot of turns to bleed off units back and forth, and then breakthroughs can be made. Because right now the reserves are too deep essentially, and the problem with these boat attacks are Sion doesn't have to respond by pulling the units from the north. He's got plenty of units down south now, so he's got more units than he possibly needs to deal with the amount of actions that Aran can throw at him.
Yeah,
So that's yeah.
you're absolutely right. Yeah, both players are absolutely stacked with units. You see, Sion is now rushing out with turreted elephants out of Sika down in the south, so there's plenty of not only units but strong units coming out. Aran has just mass upgraded rams into siege towers, so we're getting a huge military uptick here. We're still not seeing any more being built, which is interesting. I guess we're still one turn away from a citadel in the capital. But yeah,
Aaron
Aran
has
is.
a really unique advantage here too, which two of them that I can see that don't show up super cleanly when you look at just like any of the stats that we've seen and the in the board itself. First of all, is that crit factor. Every one of his units is rocking at least 10% crit chance, right? Which
Yep.
does matter when it's this. There's this many attacks coming out in simul play, and the other thing is he has hunters as a family, which Sion doesn't even have access to. So all of these archers, or the vast majority of them, are going to be sentinel archers. If he does something like switch to colonies, or can otherwise figure out a way to advance his borders, like he might end up fighting with just 20% combat strength in all of his units compared to Sion's.
Yeah, I think I said this at the end of last session, but I would love to see a colonies play for Aran where he just buys up all the tiles in the north here and just takes over the existing forts that are sitting outside of Carthage territory.
Yeah,
Because once you have a sentinel archer in a fort in your territory, that's
especially
going
if
to
your
be
opponent built that fort for
really
you, it's all the
strong.
sweeter.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, yeah, colonies would be amazing to see, especially now. I think they were both struggling a little bit for orders at the time. I think particularly Assyria, but yeah, they I assume are much happier on that front now. Assyria's got 30 orders of the turn to Carthage's 40. So yeah, Carthage has a good order advantage now. Someone was asking about military strength. They are pretty equal on military score. Carthage has just had a big boost, but Assyria has also had a big boost with the upgrades, which aren't showing on the graph yet. So yeah, they're both
I hate this
looking very
timing on
strong.
Aaron though. If you look at Aaron's families, this is not a good time for him to push. He needs to get those. I mean, he's missing at least 10% combat strength on, his hunter family, and at least 5% combat strength on no. So he's missing a full 10% on his champions, right?
Oh well, it has
Did he do 100 for the first?
just got a bit better. Hunters have just flipped into cautious from upset. So
Okay, so no longer a penalty, but not a bonus
yeah,
either, right? No
no
malice, but
bonus.
no bonus at the moment.
True,
Yeah.
true, true. Yeah, I mean, it could be better for sure. What are the families? They are all still following Assyrian paganism. Is no influence or anything. I guess, of course, he has just had the new leader, so he needs to be working really on influencing and doing anything he can to get Assyrian paganism up. So, I'd definitely like to see that happening. Aaron has a huge amount of money in the bank, and frankly, huge stockpiles of every resource. He is very, very rich. So
Yeah.
upgrading some more siege towers. It'd be interesting just to have a quick look at the national wealth stat. Wow,
Yeah.
Sion
The
is
more
even richer.
That's interesting.
They're both
Surprised by
rich.
that. I mean, they spent the entire 3 hours of something that we've been watching now, building econ, so it does make some sense.
Yeah,
And I think it's stronger than the 20% we were talking about Sentinel a second ago, just to follow up one more time on the colonies play, which is it's his own territory, and he's going to have happy family city bonus, and then he's going to have matched city bonus as well, right? He's going to have unit in its own type of bonus. So that's another 20% on top of the Sentinel, right? So that's 40%, not 20%, if he does play the colony play and is attacking at least hunters out of hunter cities, right?
yep. That's going to be
Yeah.
another very good bonus. We're seeing anchoring in the north. There is
Cool.
a play
Need some
here.
action.
There is
I'm ready for some action.
one empty tile that Sion needs to block in order to completely prevent this anchor from doing anything. But okay.
I hope he wraps his anchor further around, and I just want to see him march that zealot as far. I want to see him do a full circle of the map in one turn on that zealot.
That would be funny.
Just a giant boat play.
Oh, I was about to say we haven't seen any boat action in the south, but we are seeing anchoring. So Sauron is getting his wish. We are seeing anchoring in both the north and the south on the same turn. Need another ship to zoom out, but he absolutely can. Anchor.
And if you hold a / right now, you can see that bottom boat. It's not itself in range of Sion's vision, or that second one will be though. But the anchoring radius is so. Yeah, he can definitely see this. This is not surprising.
Indeed.
Or well, rather, he's got a turn to react. It might be surprising if he doesn't react. I mean, it took him 9 turns to react to the dies.
So there's what, 1, 2, 3 landing spots in the south now. So still very blockable, but that Byrim is at least out of range, and I assume the northern ones are as well. So yeah, he can't actually attack any of these Byrims. So
we can't see his promotions. Damn, because there's a trick you can do with the boats, which is you can anchor, and then next turn, if they have the landing promotion, you can promote after anchor to expand your border, your places that you can unload by an extra tile.
Yep.
So I can't see the promotions on this boat. Maybe I'm on the wrong view.
Yeah, if you switch to Aran, you should be able to. It doesn't look like he has lading on his southern 2.
Yeah. Because I wonder about that positioning. Because I think I would have liked one tile deeper in if he wasn't playing the landing play with the promotion.
On the north or the south?
On the south, I would have liked to have seen that Byrim one tile closer to the city. The most forward one.
Yeah, I guess it would still be safe, right? Unless, obviously...
It'll be shot by some archers. It just won't be enough to kill it in a turn, right? So maybe he's just looking for the threat more than the actual attempt. Because right now he's just missing... It gives him 2 more tiles to move 1 tile closer, right?
I think Aaron is just trying to be intimidating and create threat. I don't think Aaron is planning on moving in because it's just so easy to block this. So I think he's forcing Sion to respond. He's threatening an attack. He's just just dominating the game, which we've seen Aaron do all game. Frankly, he's in control of this match. At least to me, it feels like Aaron is in control of the military moves of this match. Even though Sion is technically ahead on paper, he has more science, he has more military score. I think Aaron is controlling what's happening.
I think, yeah, and I think at least 3 or 4 really important moments for that too, right? It was in the first game, the first session, it was the tactician plays, and then it was the quite decisive defense of that northern city. And I think in this session, it's been the contesting of that forest and the sight stuff, and then the navy stuff as well. So I think you're right. I think there's been at least those 4 instances where Aran's kind of forethought about these domains has really paid off for him, and what it's got him on map presence.
So Sion's got his 2-3 longbowmen. Be interesting to see if he's ready to start using them. Must have quite a lot of turreted elephants by now. Let's just do a quick turreted elephant count. We have 18 mounted units in Carthage. 6 turreted elephants, 1 African. Seems like quite a few.
I'm ready for some combat. Let's see some units slam into each other.
That would be good. Yep, so we're seeing Sion blocking in the north, certainly, and yeah, he's blocked in the south as well. He has just upgraded some either workers or militias to conscripts.
Let's see that order count graph too. I'm going to look at that again, because I think that's going to be really important in a moment here.
Oh. Yep, Carthage is just taking Bodkin now, which can take him 10 turns.
Yeah, that's kind of wild that the timing he's chosen for that. Those 3 archers, I hope they're worth that huge delay on the Bodkin push, right? Because that was 2 other techs along the way, right? The 3 turns for the two archers, and then the whatever it was, 3 or 4 turns for the tech in between.
Yeah, what did he get? He got machinery on 95. Yeah, so he got the machinery and then the 3 longbows.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Assyria is still quite a ways from Bodkin. You know, they have mana probably coming out of their next draw. I think it might even be forced. No, it's out of 8. So they have, 4 picks out of 8 to hit mana. And then they have another tech in between, and then they go back for Bodkin again. So they are still quite a ways away and making less tech per turn, right? So it's not going to be a 10-turn tech for them. It's going to be something longer.
Yeah, so at the moment, what we're looking at is quite a few turreted elephants, a couple of onagers, maybe a couple of 3 longbows, some camels, versus quite a lot of rams in Assyria, huge amount of spears, and yeah, quite a few archers. I don't know if they smash into each other right now. Certainly going to be a tough fight.
I don't deny the tough fight. Again, I see Aran's prep coming out here, right? Look at him. Look at the northern flank or the northern theater from Aran's point of view, and look at the preparation he's done for this, right? He's chopped out all the defensive terrain that there was in there. Not that there was that much to begin with, but he's left forest for himself and occupied that with archers. He's built forts on hills overlooking that field, and he's extended his borders up from Erbil up into that area so that all of this terrain is his terrain. In other words, he spent a bunch of effort, a bunch of resources, and a bunch of time modifying the terrain that they're going to fight on to be in his favor.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen any of that from Sion. The borders aren't moving forward. He's not creeping this forward with urban tiles. He's not even rebuilding these forts. Neither of them have access to siege, or rather, at this moment, Sion has just got access to onagers. But they take a while to creep those up if you're going to be safe with them, So what probably ends up happening here if Sion attacks into this is he's going to be entering neutral space with not a lot of forts and not a lot of covering siege fire. And he's going to be walking right into a prepared line of Aran's troops. This is what happened to him in the first session, and he got slaughtered doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it is quite interesting because, I guess if Aran walks into Sion's territory, then it's going to be a lot harder for him. But yeah, if Sion tries to push into Aran, then Aran is, as you say, very well set up for it. He's got the hunter's bonus. He's got a lot of well prepared territory. Then I think both sides, honestly, are going to find it quite hard to push, but definitely Aran will find it easier to push into Carthage.
Yeah, and at the moment, the one thing that Aran has not done or hasn't managed to do yet is he doesn't have the same control over his families that his first leader did. He's still like he's positive, but he's not even to the first break point of positive elements. So it's not quite as nice as it could be, that home advantage. But I mean, he can work on that in the background. It's not that or military. It's that and military.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Jewish head absolutely loves him. He's got his father as the Jewish head with 160 opinion. If he could convert some of these families to Judaism, he'd be in a much better position. But he's struggling now because they're all very entrenched in the pagan religion, which he
And it's very civics heavy to do that. It takes quite a lot of time to just hit each individual member
yeah,
and swap them until you get the majority. Looks like they're
yeah.
going to call it here after this turn, though.
Yes, yeah, time to wrap up indeed. Well, I think that was a cool session. We've seen, even though we haven't seen major fights, we've seen a lot of trading, well, skirmishing and with the boats poking in and
Yeah, and I think the position Aaron has set up is very interesting. A very nice defensive line all the way north to south on his borders, and he has access to the water on both sides. So if he can find an opportunity, he can cheaply move units onto those positions. Now, I don't know where he's going to generate that opportunity from because it looks pretty entrenched and pretty blocked. But if he does find it, for example, if the fighting gets heated somewhere else and units have to be pulled away, he has those options available to him, which is kind of interesting.
yeah. I think the current position of Aran's anchored biremes doesn't look super strong. You know, he's going to struggle to push in with that. But he only needs like 2 more biremes to anchor around the back to open up a huge amount of new tiles that he could invade, especially in the south. If he anchors 1 more bireme in the south, like just south of
Yeah.
Sika, that's going to be quite difficult to block and tie up a lot of Sion's units. I mean, Sion could do it, but it would tie up a lot of his units, and then suddenly it's not really cost Aran anything to do that, just to put 1 bireme bit further forward, and suddenly, a land push forwards becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, although he doesn't have another boat queued, he's not building another one. And I like what you're saying, and that would make a lot of sense for where he's put that, the bottom bireme, right? That's why it's so far away and not covering all the tiles that he could be. It keeps him out of range of the bows, so there's only flat ground. They can never shoot him here, so it leaves them the option of chaining 1 more on there, as you say. But I don't actually see that 1 more in existence or being created.
Yeah, it feels a bit of a missed opportunity indeed. And onagers on these islands up here would be funny. I'm not sure how effective they would be, but it would be quite fun to harass and deny a huge section of Sion's land. Equally, Sion could get some onagers on the coast here and start attacking the ships. We are seeing archers attacking in the
What?
south.
Combat?
Aran is moving in.
Wow.
Again,
So
I'm
after
not.
all this preparation, he's moving in on the area that has, this has got to be just a harass.
I
There's no
think
roads.
I think it is. I don't think this is a serious assault. With 2 archers and a militia
I
and
mean, that
5
militia,
orders left, yeah, there's no way this is turning into a.
this feels like he wants to reduce his wood upkeep.
Interestingly, he could kill that slinger with another archer and a militia, so maybe he will.
I mean, these are massively promoted archers over here. Each of them with triple focus. Is he just fishing for crits, or double focus on the one in hill and triple focus
Yeah,
on the other?
that zealot there has eagle eye and marksman. Oh, okay, so he doesn't even need to move in. Yeah, he's got a couple of eagle eye marksman archers down here doing huge amounts of damage from
This
4
is what I
tiles
said
away.
Sion needed to be doing. He needs to be possessing these hills before the other player has a chance to fortify. And
Yeah.
actually, hilariously, it isn't Sion who spotted that first. It's Aaron.
Yeah, and there's a nice little choke here, of course, with the double lakes, so that's going to be hard to push in with melee units there. Strong archers, imagine if they were longbows. Yeah, if we ever do get to Bodkin, they are going to be absolutely terrifying units if they stay alive, that's for sure. But they're pretty darn scary as it is, just with archers. Yeah,
Oh
like
god,
he can
and
do 7 and 8 damage to a warrior, a fully fortified warrior in territory from 5 tiles away.
this is going to be so order expensive for Sion to defend too, because he doesn't have traders. You know, he's taken artisans, statesmen, and riders. That means no trader workers to just dump out some roads real quick. So if he wants roads on those tiles to assault those archers over 3 hills of distance, he's got to sack 3 workers to do it. You know, that's a painful cost for a couple roads.
Yeah,
Again, some preparation would have been really nice here.
this is looking brutal. Right. Okay. Well, we are wrapping up here on this climax, this cliffhanger, I should say. Yeah, exciting session indeed. That was awesome to see. But we will be back for a third session. Not sure when the players will be ready for the next one, but we'll definitely try and cover it and bring you the conclusion of this match. Some good times. Thank you very much for co-casting, Filthy. It was great to have you. Great to have you here.
Yeah, it's been a fun one. Cliffhanger, of course, it always seems to end that way, but it's going to be a very exciting next session, I think.
Yeah, for sure. It feels like this match could end pretty quickly at this point. I'm not saying it
Well,
will.
I
It
don't
could
know.
go a
There's
lot
so many
longer as
units in
well.
here. Yeah, I don't know either. It's gonna be bloody in the next few turns, regardless. It may end quickly from that, or it may be the start of a prolonged war, but it's gonna be bloody the next couple turns.
Yeah, I think Aran is a position potentially, if combat goes well for him, to kill a lot of units very quickly. And I would be interesting to see. We've got a couple of onagers back here. Maybe Cyan can lay down some suppressive fire. None of the siege towers are actually in a position to attack in the south, so it would be interesting to see if we get a dual push. He could start pushing in the north at the same time as the south. I'm not sure if that really makes sense, but yeah, interesting to see. Just do a quick recap before we end the stream of the current situation. So Cyan is a fair bit wealthier than Aran now, but I imagine Aran has been pouring that money into military units. We've got 52 population for Aran compared to 40 for Cyan. Specialists are pretty much even. What's the breakdown on that? Almost all officers. Yeah, so the only urban specialists Aran has are officers and one monk, whereas Cyan has not that many either, mainly officers again, a few acolytes and a scribe. Workers are reasonably even. Military units produce 60 to 53. Cyan has the advantage there. Yeah, that unit's loss stat is brutal, and Cyan is just going to keep losing units, I think, faster than Aran is. 8 laws to 7. 24 text for Cyan to 19 for Aran.
I mean, this is kind of what you not from the players. I'm not rooting for a player of an outcome here, but you kind of want to see this from a game perspective. If the player doing the rush gets stopped, you'd like to see it turn. You'd like to have seen that stopped rush cost them something, and it cost him a lot of units, and it hasn't hurt his tech, and it's hurt his resources, but not as much as it hurt the resources of the defender to stay even here. So it will be interesting if, despite two of the primary stats that you judge a game's success by, how far ahead in resources and how far ahead in tech they are, if now Aran can make something happen on this board. And it does
Yeah.
look like he's found a way to do that, at least to start that, at least give himself an opportunity to do that.
It's interesting looking at the military score here. Cyan is absolutely going vertical with his military. He's rushing units out all over the place. So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see if he can convert that into an actual better position. But yeah,
Is the
Cyan does have
training
quite a lot of military score.
is the training graph training per turn, or is it total value of training?
It's
Because I
training.
am
It's training getting added to the stockpile, so this will go
mm,
down when you start building units.
because I wonder at the kind of, we look at Aaron's troops and we're seeing those archers are a prime example of this, 4 promotions on them, and it's a Syria, so it gets another promotion on top of that, right? So I wonder about the how well that graph is representing. Is that the number in there? That's based off combat strength, right? But presumably that's combat strength without the promotions applied, right? Because those promotions are all situational. It's not going to be like their combat, or maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. Maybe if a unit with a hill bonus stands on a hill, does it have higher combat strength for that graph? Do you know?
If we're talking about the military score graph, then no, it's
Yeah.
literally just the base strength of all the
Yeah.
units summed up.
So what it doesn't show us in this number, despite Scion being quite a chunk ahead there on that graph, is it does not show us the value of the promotions.
No.
And again, Assyria gets those free promotions, and in my opinion, Aaron has spent more resources stacking promotions on his units. If we take a gander around his empire and looking at those units, there's a lot of promoted units floating around in there.
Yeah, we can turn the where is it? The promotions and idle units overlay on. I mean, Focus is doing quite a bit of work here, but even so, there's a stacked promotion. Wow, look at this chariot here.
Yeah.
Focus, Tough, Steadfast, Tracker, Swift, Zealot. I mean, that's the leader who's contributing some of that as well, but even so, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of promotions. You're quite right. And yeah, if we look over at Science side, That is a very, very noticeable difference.
Well,
Like,
is
a few
is this
units have
because
a
oh no,
promotion.
I thought it maybe it was to do with which character, which player you
No,
had selected, but no, exactly. Yeah.
no, a few units have a promotion, but yeah, not
Yeah.
not really that promoted at all. Okay, well let's end the stream here. Yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and yeah, we'll be back for the next session when it's scheduled. But thanks for watching everyone, and thanks again, Filthy, for being here. It's great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a good one, Fluffy.
Cheers all.